Canada yesterday. The president says he told Trudeau Canada needs to do more to stop fentanyl from crossing its borders into the U.S. But the White House says there will be a 30-day pause in tariffs on automobiles imported under the existing trade agreement with Canada and Mexico. The Supreme Court has dealt the administration a setback in its efforts to cut spending from the U.S. Agency for International Development.
This is about foreign aid that was ordered to be paid out by a lower court judge. There were groups who take in USAID money, and they had gone and said, listen, this freeze is harming us. And they went to the district court judge, that lower court level, and he said, yes, the government has to pay this out. It went through the appeals, got to the Supreme Court. They, by a 5-4 vote today, say they won't put that judge's order on hold.
Fox's Shannon Bream reports the funding was for work that had already been done. The federal judge has blocked President Trump from carrying out steep cuts to federal grant funding for research, which universities and some Democrat-led states warn could lead to layoffs, lab closures, and curtailment of scientific and medical studies. An hour before the close, Wall Street rebounding from what had been a tough week. The Dow up 560 points, NASDAQ trading 283 points higher. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
2 people killed this morning. 37 degrees with some rain falling downtown. Radar shows some showers to the west, so expect that rain to keep up this afternoon. Low of 27 tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:02. Gunshots and a double murder happened in a Brownsburg neighborhood early Wednesday. Mark Halsey lives nearby, not far from where the shooting happened along Acre Avenue.
Woke up to it this morning with my neighbor actually texted me to let me know something was going on down the street with the police cars, and it wasn't until we kind of got on the news and found out what was going on.
Halsey says he still feels safe living in Brownsburg despite the shooting. Police have detained one person, and they're still investigating. Parts of President Donald Trump's speech to a joint session of Congress last night held some of Indiana's industries up as examples of how he believes tariffs will work. Chris Davis reports.
One of those was rather obvious.
Already, numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
The president then talked about how the tariffs might improve the lives of Hoosiers who work in the steel industry.
If we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly we just won't have a country very long.
His point being that tariffs on foreign steel, he believes, will ensure that we manufacture it here in the U.S. Republican Representative Marlin Stutzman tweeted his support for the tariffs, saying Trump's tariffs are bringing jobs back to the crossroads of America, a sentiment not shared by most Democrats. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Bald eagle was found dead in a field in Valparaiso. Someone had called the Indiana Department of Natural Resources about it Monday when the bird was still alive but not able to fly. Officers did capture the bird without any problems, but a test for avian flu came back positive. The eagle died in quarantine. Gusty winds and light rain are expected today, with forecaster Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service saying a cold front supposed to move in along with precipitation.
We'll still have some scattered rain showers throughout, and then as we get into the evening hours, we're going to start approaching that freezing point, and these rain showers will start turning into snow showers.
He says winds could gust up to 40 miles per hour at times today. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:04.
Hi, this is Denny Smith for Exercise Inc. A lot of folks give up on their bodies in their 40s or 50s. Statistically, we gain 1.5 pounds every year past 50, and it's usually a tough slog to fight that. 19 years ago, I took a friend's recommendation, and I went to Exercise Inc. for one of their free consultations. Me? I didn't want to get heavy. I wanted to stay trim and in shape, and that was really a struggle. 19 years ago I went, and 19 years later I'm still going every week. They've helped me to reach and maintain my health and fitness goals, and they do that with specific strength training in only 20 minutes a week. You've just got to try this health and exercise approach, and the consultation is free. My guess is that, like me, you'll be skeptical for the first couple of weeks, and then it happens. You'll feel better. You'll probably lose some weight, and you'll probably look better, too. Go to Exercise Inc. today and sign up for a free consultation. Avon, Brownsburg, Zionsville, and Greenwood, now in Fishers, too. ExerciseInc.com.
The traffic on the 5s at 3:05. Good afternoon, Matt Baer.
What's happening, Harrison? Looking at Kessler Boulevard north of West 30th. This is a two-car crash. One of the cars hopped the curb, crashed into an electrical pole. I'd stay clear. Also a crash in Noblesville, Connor Street at 18th. Down power lines on State Road 9 in Madison County from 38th Street down to State Road 232. That's closed. And southbound 65 on the south side, slow from Raymond Street to Keystone Avenue. Traffic sponsored by The Tile Shop. Pros get more at The Tile Shop. More selection like new wood and vinyl flooring options for every budget. More perks and more service like free curbside pickup. Start getting more at The Tile Shop. Visit your local showroom today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And the forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy skies today with falling temperatures this afternoon. Could see some scattered showers. It's going to be windy with some of those rain showers changing over to snow showers later this evening. I'm Wish TV. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Yeah, President Trump last night speaking on how easy it was to secure the border to the joint session of Congress. I'm Nigel. That's Hammer. Yeah, no, they didn't need Congress. They didn't need to vote because Joe Biden didn't need that when he was inaugurated and basically wiped out all Donald Trump's efforts to secure the southern border. So Donald Trump just kind of went back and did the same thing, tit for tat. And what do you know? Border encounters illegally plummeting, gotaways plummeting. Just one aspect of that ass-kicking speech last night from Donald Trump.
Less than 20 days. That's what it took Donald Trump to fix massive influxes of illegal aliens running across the border to getting it down to where we are now. Less than 20 days.
When you put it like that, it's just, it was a 4-year crisis. We used the word crisis 4 years on this show every day. And then you're telling me 22 days?
That's it. So how did everybody's bingo cards go last night? I know Ethan Hatcher was playing in real time, host of Saturday Night on the Circle, and I think he got a bingo a couple different ways last night.
I think he did.
That's if we're counting Elon Musk sharing a water bottle with that hot blonde as her getting impregnated. If we're counting that as him fathering a child,
that was
then you could cross that square off.
One of the squares was Elon Musk fathers a child. We did a Hammer and Nigel bingo card for the speech last night.
Didn't somebody come up to you in a restaurant and talk about it?
Yeah, we were at my I loved it. That was great. We were at my wife's birthday dinner last night. My kids, my in-laws, my wife, and he's like, I knew you were going to be here tonight. I knew you weren't going to be watching the speech, so I downloaded the guy goes, I downloaded the bingo card because I knew you weren't going to be there tonight. Yeah, because I was watching, because I was at dinner with my wife for the birthday, and he was like, he said, yeah, downloaded the bingo card, and I'm ready to go.
Awesome. Love to hear that.
That was great. And nobody else at my table knew what the hell he was talking about. Of course. I had to sit there and
that was
explain.
Your wife and kids, the people who should know,
they
but
should
absolutely
know.
refuse. So Trump's speech, the speech itself was pretty uplifting.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of a victory lap on the things he's done in the first month, but it was basically, I'm doing what you hired me to do. That was the genesis of the speech. But honestly, it felt like the clown show that was the Democrats and their protests kind of stole the thunder just a little bit. And it all started when that weirdo Representative Al Green of Texas was getting mouthy early on, like was yelling about Medicaid, wouldn't sit down after multiple warnings. And that is when the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, had to kick him out.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
So they kicked him out.
I will say I'm kind of taking something back I said yesterday during this segment. I said I was all about watching this and watching the Democrats and all the dumb shenanigans and how stupid and foolish they're going to make themselves look, which they did. But that kind of started getting lost once Donald Trump got going. And as you mentioned at the beginning of this segment, Hammer, it was all about the ascension of America. It was America is back and all the accomplishments within the first 30 to 40 days of the presidency.
And I hear every word you're saying, but I still had a hard time focusing on the positivity.
I know.
When you see a group of people that refuse to stand up and applaud, even if it's half-assed, for a 13-year-old cancer survivor.
I didn't get that.
Who just wants to work with law enforcement.
I didn't get it.
I thought this was the most poignant moment of the night last night. 13-year-old DJ Daniel. He was diagnosed with brain cancer. Doctors only gave him 5 months to live. Well, that was 6 years ago. And he's doing awesome. He's fighting it. He's kicking butt. He always dreamed of being a police officer. So during the speech last night, Donald Trump made him an official agent of the United States Secret Service.
Cool.
Joining us in the gallery tonight is a young man who truly loves our police. His name is DJ Daniel. He is 13 years old, and he has always dreamed of becoming a police officer. But in 2018, DJ was diagnosed with brain cancer. The doctors gave him 5 months at most to live. That was more than 6 years ago.
Wow.
Since that time, DJ and his dad have been on a quest to make his dream come true, and DJ has been sworn in as an honorary law enforcement officer. Actually, a number of times. The police love him. The police departments love him. And tonight, DJ, we're going to do you the biggest honor of them all. I am asking our new Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, to officially make you an agent of the United States Secret Service.
Yeah.
Listen to that crowd, for the most part. DJ.
It's hard for me to watch that without choking up and tearing up. And then you cut to other Democrats that are just sitting there with scowls on their face. And I'm trying not to let that ruin the moment.
It's hard, though, right? If you don't like Donald Trump's policies and you want to sit down, okay. If he's doing a victory lap on the southern border and you feel like the border should be open, I get it. But you're going out of your way not to stand up for a kid that beat cancer and is getting to live out his dream. Debbie Wasserman Schultz and these other sour-faced Democrats that refuse to get up, you just gave the Republicans a campaign commercial, a free campaign commercial. And if that wasn't enough, after everything was done, I made the mistake of going to MSNBC.
Oh, my goodness.
I wanted to see how they were covering everything. Here's Rachel Maddow on this 13-year-old. She's got a problem that his dream came true.
For the record, and this is disgusting, the president made a spectacle out of praising a young man who thus far survived pediatric cancer, as if the president had something to do with that.
That wasn't what it was about, Ryan Braun. That wasn't what it was about. It was about making him an agent. Donald Trump didn't say that he cured his cancer. Not at all.
It was a roundabout, like making a wish foundation type of thing.
Right.
What's it about?
And if you think Ryan Braun there is bad,
that was awful.
Her colleague Nicole Wallace talking about this 13-year-old cancer survivor, and then all of a sudden going off the deep end saying, I hope he doesn't kill himself trying to defend the Capitol from rioters.
And maybe when you have childhood cancer, that crystallizes for you. And I hope he has a long life as a law enforcement officer. But I hope he never has to defend the United States Capitol against Donald Trump's supporters. And if he does, I hope he isn't one of the 6 who loses his life to suicide. And I hope he isn't one who has to testify against the people who carried out acts of seditious conspiracy and then live to see Donald Trump pardon those people.
You can't hate some of these people enough.
Wow. Oh, well, they hate Donald Trump enough, and that's all it takes. That's what that really was.
And that's disgusting. Again, if you want to boo Trump's policies, go ahead. I get it. But to make the 13-year-old your rallying cry for whatever political gain you think it is disgusting. And then Donald Trump goes on to talk about how the United States has brought to justice the terrorist who killed the 13 men and women in the botched Afghan withdrawal.
Yeah.
In the Abbey Gate bombing during the disastrous and incompetent withdrawal from Afghanistan, not that they were withdrawing, it was the way they withdrew. Perhaps the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. Tonight I am pleased to announce that we have just apprehended the top terrorist responsible for that atrocity, and he is right now on his way here to face the swift sword of American justice.
Oh, a lot of applause there, but there's a lot
Not from the Democrats. The only time the Democrats got up to cheer, the only time they got up and applauded was when Donald Trump brought up Ukraine.
With no end in sight, the United States has sent hundreds of billions of dollars to support Ukraine's defense.
Here come
with
the
no
Dems.
security, with no anything.
Elizabeth Warren is standing up.
Do you want to keep it going for another 5 years? Yeah, you would say Pocahontas says yes.
So that was on the bingo card. Trump uses a nickname, and we got a Pocahontas out of him last night.
And the camera cut to her, and she was clapping. Yes. That blew my mind. Another 5 years. You'd love to see it. You'd love to see it. Another 5 years. Wow.
They did not cheer for a cancer survivor.
Oof.
They did not cheer for the Comparator family. They did not cheer for a dead terrorist. But boy, you talk about extending the Ukraine war.
Come
Hot
on.
damn, they're starting the wave. All right, Matt Baer, what's going on?
North side, eastbound 465 slows after Keystone Avenue to I-69. Eastbound 70 a little bit slow from West Street to the South Split. And a crash. This is the east side, Emerson Avenue, Lexington Avenue crash. Connor Street at 18th Street, and this is in Noblesville. Traffic sponsored by Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield. They've teamed up with the Indiana Fever and Common Threads to provide local schools with information for nutritious meal preparation. Learn more at anthem.com/fever. Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield is the trade name of Anthem Insurance Companies Incorporated. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
So enjoy this temperature while you can, because it's going to get lower and lower throughout the evening. Right now it's 40 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, on our way to a low of 31. Might have some freezing rain a little bit later on. When we come back, we've got an update on a story we've talked about previously and your reason to drink tonight. Come on back. We're having fun. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So when is the right time to file for Social Security? That's a difficult decision today, especially because you got to consider that Social Security is running out of money. You need to consider the tax hit on your benefits, your IRA, 401k withdrawals. And finally, you got to consider your spousal benefits. If you don't consider all these things, you could leave a lot of money on the table. That's why you got to talk to Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy, and my retirement guy, based here in Indy. He could hook you up with a free, customized Social Security analysis. Free is the key word there. So if you're not sure about Social Security, but you want to make sure that you get the most for your money, call Bill Demery right now. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. 317-648-5120. Set up that free appointment today.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Ooh, up top, Bike Shop. Yeah.
It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Nesselthorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Community Health Network cares for your heart health. From heart scans and vascular screenings to complex heart procedures, you can count on our expert team for the highest quality cardiovascular care, when and where you need it. Your path to a healthy heart starts with knowing your risk. Schedule a heart scan or vascular screening today. Visit ecommunity.com/heart. Community Health Network. Exceptional care. Simply delivered.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
The Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. For hunting, sporting, and personal protection gear, visit the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do we all remember the first iteration of the Fire Festival a few years ago where these scammers were saying all these giant, big-name performers were coming to this island, and it was thousands of dollars, and it was going to be all fancy food and giant tents and just, places to stay.
There was like a big documentary on Netflix about this, wasn't it?
Great documentary. And it ended up being not real. It was a scam, and people went to jail. And so the guy that planned the whole thing got out of jail and planned another one. Fire Festival 2. And the Mexican island, apparently, Hammer, that's supposed to host Fire Festival 2, has not heard anything about this event.
So the guy went to jail for doing something, got out and did it again. Or as we call it here in Indianapolis, average. Another average day, right?
Yeah. Ryan Mears high-fived the guy on the way outside the revolving door.
Some of the judges were like giving him that slow head nod, like Zach Galifianakis on the motorcycle. So you're telling me that this dude who just got out for ripping people off on Fire Festival 1 decided he was going to do a legit Fire Festival 2, charge people thousands of dollars for tickets, never announced any bands, and the location's like, we have no idea what you're talking about.
Legit is probably not appropriate in any way, shape, or form in this segment.
But you know what? You said this the other day, because we talked about how he was putting on Fire Festival 2. Anybody that bought tickets for this, you deserve to have your money taken from you.
Yeah.
You'd be better off trying to send money to the Nigerian prince than giving the guy at Fire Festival any bit of your hard-earned income. There's a better chance you're going to get a happy payout at the end from the Nigerian prince than you are getting to see the Fire Festival when you trust this dude.
Apparently, organizers of Firefest 2 claim they've engaged with local authorities, secured hotels and venues, but other authorities have said this festival is not going to happen. Duh.
When reached for comment, the authorities said, duh. Miss Allison, give me some mood music, please. You remember this song, right? I believe it was on the Benny and June soundtrack.
Yeah.
Johnny Depp movie.
I saw it once.
Da-da-da! Da-da-da! The Proclaimers, okay? These two nerdy brothers, Craig and Charlie Reed, celebrating their 63rd birthday today, Nige.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, I've heard the song.
It was all over the radio, like in the 90s, right? It was kind of a quirky, and the video was just these weird, nerdy brothers, and they were doing the same mannerisms, and it was a big hit.
But the song you're talking about, Benny and June, it's with what was it, Johnny Depp, right?
Yeah, the movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's like some mentally ill woman finds Johnny Depp, and they kind of pretend they're Buster Keaton and somebody else. I don't know. This is not a reason for me to drink tonight. I can find plenty of reasons.
The Proclaimers, these nerdy brothers that took looking like librarians to millions of dollars, is not a reason to drink. I'll celebrate that.
I don't know how much money they made.
Oh, they had to have made at least $1 million off that song. It was a monster.
I bet they made tens of thousands of dollars off that song after the producers and the...
So you think more people bought Fire Festival 2 tickets than the Proclaimers made off of 500 Miles? That's what you're telling me.
It's a distinct possibility.
I tend to think they probably made a little bit of money on it. So what I've done here is I found some mashups of that song, okay? Tell me if any of these do anything for you,
okay,
or which one's your favorite.
All right.
Here is 500 Miles by the Proclaimers mashed up with Journey.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight train going anywhere.
A pretty basic intro there.
Just a city boy.
Okay, I think you kind of get the feel of this one. How about the Proclaimers mixed with Toxic from Britney Spears?
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be.
Okay.
When I go out, well, I know I'm gonna be.
Much better than the previous.
Okay.
Yes.
Last one, the Proclaimers mashed up with September from Earth, Wind, and Fire.
When I wake up, well, I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you.
Any of these do anything for you?
Nah. I mean, I just was not a fan of the song, so
Your team
sorry.
Fire Festival. We've made it clear.
I'd gladly pay tens of thousands of dollars to go to Fire Festival and eat cheese and bologna sandwiches before I'd pay to go see the Proclaimers.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
You know, Low T Center is not your typical doctor's office. Their health providers specialize in treating low T with personalized testosterone replacement therapy, or TRT, for each individual unique patient. So if you're feeling tired, guys, lack of motivation and drive, gaining weight, notice a loss of muscle mass, these could all be signs of low testosterone, and you don't want to wait to find out. Low T Center, they make it easy to get your levels checked.
At the Low T Center, you can get your health evaluated and see if you qualify for prescription weight loss medications, GLP-1 weight loss medications. The Low T Center, they really are your one-stop shop for all things men's health. They could screen you for some cancers. They can do blood work. And, of course, testosterone issues Schedule that appointment today. LowTCenter.com. That's LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
There she is, founder and CEO. High five.
Dave can't stop celebrating with every business owner in town.
All right, Baker Man. High five.
He's sharing the excitement of big savings with the Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee.
Up top, Bike Shop.
Yeah. It's 5 years of gig speed internet.
Quick, high five.
5 years of advanced security.
5 years.
And 5 years of a great rate that won't change.
Yeah, law partners. Chamberlain, Messethorpe, Dubois.
All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Switch today and get the 5-year price lock guarantee.
5 years.
It's back, but only for a limited time.
Woo!
Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities. Comcast Business.
Can't forget you, voiceover guy.
Ah, thanks, Dave.
High five.
Ends 3/9/25. Guaranteed rate applies to monthly service charge for new customers on qualifying internet bundle, excluding taxes and fees. Other restrictions apply.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet, so make a free call to Page Publishing. Turn your book idea into publishing gold.
800-215-6818. 800-215-6818. That's 800-215-6818.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the cops were doing in Brownsburg, 37 degrees and cloudy in downtown Indianapolis. Still some scattered rain in your radar. 27 your low tonight. That brings in some chances for snow. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 3:32. Brownsburg police are looking into a double murder that happened this morning. Authorities say they responded to Acre Avenue where they found two men dead. Mark Halsey, who lives around the corner, shares what the neighborhood's like.
There's some older folks that live down there. People have lived there for 10, 20 years. There's some younger couples that have moved in the recent, I would say, 3 or 4 years.
Police say they've detained one person and are still investigating. The State Department is imposing visa restrictions on foreign officials from countries that contribute to illegal immigration in the states. Here's Fox's Gernal Scott.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio announced the policy in a statement. It specifically will apply to foreign officials that have a role in allowing movement across the southwest border, such as those with the offending nation's Port Authority, Airport, and Customs. Sanctions against foreign nationals who on their own bring undocumented migrants across the border remain in effect. Secretary Rubio said the policy will stay in place until nations take responsibility for their roles in illegal immigration into the U.S. Family members of those foreign officials can also be subject to sanctions. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt is giving a thumbs up to President Trump's speech last night. She says many Americans felt the same way about it.
According to a CBS YouGov survey, an overwhelming 76% of those watching approved of President Trump's speech last night.
That poll did point out the television audience was heavily Republican. Whoever is president typically brings in more viewers from their supporting party for these kind of speeches. A cold front's supposed to move across the state, turning rain into a wintry mix tonight. Snow could wind up coating the roads after sundown. However, Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service says not to expect much accumulation.
Generally, we're not looking at too much for accumulations, given that we were in the 60s yesterday, staying in the 50s throughout the night. And snow that does fall should melt for the most part.
Updike says temperatures will warm up this weekend and stay mild throughout the week. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 3:34.
Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Winters are long here in the area, and if you're tired of seeing and feeling that winter weather coming in past your old windows like I was, you need Window Nation. Their high-quality, energy-efficient windows will get rid of those drafts to keep your costly heat inside, lower your monthly utility bills, and keep your home comfortable year-round. And they're affordable, too. Right now, get 2 windows free for every 2 you buy. Plus, with 0 down and no payments or interest for 2 years, you could get new windows installed in 1 day and not pay anything until 2027.
Imagine what you could do with all that extra money in your pocket. Plus, they're guaranteed for life. Don't miss out on your chance to take advantage of the buy 2, get 2 for free promotion, and you don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule your fast, free estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
With traffic at 3:35, here's Matt Bear.
All right, Harrison eastbound 465 slows Keystone Avenue 269 and eastbound 70 slow into the south split from West Street. Crash, 2 cars, one hopped the curb, crashed into an electrical pole. It's Kessler Boulevard at 30th Street, West 30th. Also crash in Noblesville, Connor at 18th. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy skies today with falling temperatures this afternoon. Could see some scattered showers. It's going to be windy with some of those rain showers changing over to snow showers later this evening. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. Hello, my name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with an awesome special guest on the hotline.
Someone that's been a friend to this program, a political strategist by nature, but also running for Congress out of the Sunshine State in Florida. Raven Harrison joins us. Raven, how are you?
I am great. It's great to be with you guys again.
So before we get caught up to what you're doing down in DeSantis land right now, your thoughts on what you heard last night from Donald Trump?
I thought that speech was impressive. It was inspiring. It was uplifting, and it was direct. So I feel like it was very Trump. It was very much in the vein of Trump. It was to the point. It was direct. It was a little bit on the long side, and it was really like taking no prisoners and America first. It should have been one of those speeches that made you proud to be an American.
What did you think of some of the major highlights were? I mean, anything from listing off all the things that Doge is cutting to the southern border to, I mean, any number of things. What general message do you think Donald Trump was trying to send the people that voted for him?
I think that he was sending him the message. He was sending us all the message of promises made, promises kept.
Yes.
And that's what he did. He said what he had promised to do, and he said what he had actually done. And I love that he gave a face to actually these issues that all Americans care about. We all care about the border. We all care about human trafficking. We all care about how our money is being spent. And we all care about Americans who have been struggling and crippled under this past failed administration. I was so proud of him for doing that, and then highlighting some of the heroes we have in this movement, including little DJ fighting brain cancer and getting his dream to come true.
I think that was one of the signature moments last night, Raven, was that young man standing up, getting a round of applause from most people. There were some Democrats. I saw Debbie Wasserman Schultz, among others, that still refused to stand up for a kid that beat cancer that is getting his dream job. I thought that was disgusting. So my question to you, put your political strategist hat on here, Raven. Did the Democrats act take away from the messaging that Donald Trump was trying to portray last night?
I don't think it did, but if you look at the polling numbers, I mean, I don't watch CNN. You guys know how I feel. I don't watch CNN for the same reason I don't drink out of the toilet, okay? But CNN did a poll, and immediately, what did you think? 66% approval, and that's on CNN. So I think that, as usual, the Democrats are not reading the room very well. They acted like perpetual children. I mean, it wasn't Donald Trump you were protesting. It was America. They were talking about, I mean, what part were you protesting? The getting our border secured, the fact that this cancer survivor, had his dream met, a young man making it to West Point, or him acknowledging the sacrifice that Lake and Riley's mother and Kempatore's wife made, for their, the Democrats' wide open border. I mean, what are you actually protesting? It was them not celebrating the gains that America has had. And they're not reading the room, because overwhelmingly in November, we voted for President Trump, we voted for DOJ, and we voted for this. If you're mad about exposing corruption, then you're probably corrupt.
Raven Harrison joining us, political strategist, also a candidate for Florida's congressional House seat. She joins us now on the Hammer and Nigel show. So do the Democrats have a face of the party? Even when Joe Biden was giving these types of speeches in the past, Raven, whether it was a State of the Union or one of his Dark Brandon speeches, as they dubbed it as, you still knew who the leader of the opposition party was. It was Donald Trump. Do the Democrats have a point person right now?
They do not, because typically that would have fallen under the realm of Nancy Pelosi. But it is obvious in lieu of her recent health issues and everything that is going on. I mean, watching her last night was embarrassing. So, again, the only thing that they celebrated was all the money that had gone out to Ukraine. That was the only thing they clapped for. The rest of the time, it was ridiculous. And I feel like right now they're trying to throw names out. They know Kamala cannot carry the ticket. They know that Pelosi is getting too old, so they're trying to find the next one. But no, there is no clear leader, and that is saying something, because who they're putting up as option, Jasmine Crockett. I mean, that's like what happens if you get your Congress people off of Temu. It's ridiculous. So they know what's going on with this, and they're desperately trying to scramble. AOC, if you guys notice, wasn't even there because she's afraid of Tom Homan. She's afraid that she's under investigation for helping illegals, using her platform to help illegals evade ICE. And I was kind of hoping to see her show up and have to confront Tom Homan about how an elected member of Congress, United States Congress, justifies breaking the law. And aiding and abetting, helping people avoid ICE is a really gray area, and she really should be looking over her shoulder.
I thought one of the things that Donald Trump did very well last night during that speech was illustrate how it's the Democrats, no matter what Donald Trump could get up there on that podium and say, I cured cancer, I've shut down a disease that would have killed billions of people across the globe. I could come up here and say anything positive, and these people sitting right out here in front of me would sit with, I thought they all looked like they were sucking on persimmons. You know, they had just got that sour.
Absolutely correct. If he had stood there and said, I have cured cancer, Democrats would have said he's stolen our right to die of cancer. They absolutely have lost their ever-loving minds.
And it's not just the folks that are in that room, Raven. For whatever reason, apparently I hate myself. I watched some of the coverage on MSNBC and CNN last night after the fact, just to see how they were presenting some of this information. You've got Rachel Maddow on MSNBC upset that Donald Trump had the 13-year-old up there.
Correct.
Then you had Nicole Wallace saying that kid might ultimately commit suicide because people may storm the Capitol on him one day. What the hell is wrong with these people?
Thank you. I mean, they are both cretins. And you've allowed your hate for one person to consume you. And that's what I tell people that's what you need to look at. You couldn't even find it within you to be happy for a boy who has arguably gone through more than any of us could ever imagine in his short little life. And yet he can find a way to be happy. And these Democrats who are all wealthy, who are all privileged and live in the greatest country in the world cannot find a single thing to be happy about. And you're attacking a child. I absolutely condemn Nicole Wallace and Rachel Maddow for being cretins, un-American, and anti-American. We are better than this. And even the Democrats that I know are better than this. This is the extreme and advanced stage 10 TDS.
I'm glad you said we are better than this, because that's the overall. Even yesterday, I was joking with Hammer on the air. I can't wait to see what kind of shenanigans the Democrats are going to pull. I can't wait to watch them act like petulant children. I, for the most part, after Trump got rolling, and I realized where he was going with that message. I tuned them out, and I think I think that's a sign of trouble for the Democrats.
Considering, the last they had was Pelosi tearing up the State of the Union address, they don't have a very good track record. And what I would like to say about that is being equal, I would really appreciate it if the people on the Republican side would not follow suit. I don't feel like those theatrics are not helpful on either side. And, they need to be conducting themselves like elected officials instead of this, these holding up stupid signs and, holding up all of these, the one who tried to get her little dig in by holding that sign up as President Trump was walking in saying this is not normal. She's right. And then what I found particularly poignant was all of them having the temerity to wear pink to celebrate women after unanimously voting to allow men into women's sports. I can't think of a more hypocritical illustration of where the Democrat Party is. They had nothing. And you have Bernie after that. They all had to announce they were leaving. They couldn't have just left because then it would have been obvious we don't care. But Bernie Sanders came out and said, my speech is going to be better. I'm like, the problem is nobody wants to hear you speak.
Right.
And so he walked out, and what did he say? There aren't any 300-year-olds collecting Social Security. I said, that's right, Bernie, because they're dead. That's the point.
That's the point. Right. Somebody's using the Social Security number, Bernie.
Exactly.
What are you doing in Florida, Raven?
Well, I've been here unofficially for years, going back and forth. I made a commitment to help President Trump and help this country. We needed help, and I was back and forth, but we decided officially over a year ago to make that official and to actually say this is going to be, and it really was hard on my family to split between two locations, but when we are committed to do it, and patriots don't retire, we reload, right? So I just said we're going to make a decision. Florida is amazing, and I'm grateful to be here and be part of trying to help keep our country, because if we don't keep it for the midterm, guys, we're going to have big trouble. They're going to start impeaching and all this kind of other stuff. The only way to keep everything going and to protect the sacrifice that President Trump made, this man was shot trying to fight for us. No billionaire who had a comfortable life like that has a story where they can say, I have been bankrupted, I have been attacked, indicted, arrested, and shot for this country. And we have got to step up and protect what he has done.
Raven Harrison, find her on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Raven Congress FL. We always enjoy the conversation, Raven. We'll talk again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, Galaxy Concrete Coatings did such an awesome job coating my garage floor. I'm having the back end to do the furnace room in my basement. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is out of this world. They don't use epoxy. They use polyurea. Polyurea is the new standard when it comes to concrete coatings. And they do garages, basements, pool decks, any indoor or outdoor area concrete. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor looks spectacular, especially considering what I had before. Check out their website, see pictures, and get a quote, galaxyconcretecoatings.com. Or give them a call at their office, 751-9070.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Hi, I'm Charlie Comer from Comer & Cross Premium Garage Floor Coatings. When your garage floor has stains, cracks, and pits, it makes your whole garage look bad. And a bad epoxy job looks even worse. Look, spring will be here on March 20th. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio and installation this spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Guaranteed. A Comer & Cross concrete floor coating won't chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. In one day, we make it so easy. We move your stuff out for you. We fix the cracks and pits perfectly. And apply your gleaming new Comer & Cross concrete floor in 6 stages, just in time for spring. For your best price of the year on your new garage floor, basement, or patio, and installation by spring, please call me now at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to COMERcross.com.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do
Let's play something, Grandma.
became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors. For 1951 cabinetry, visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
Addiction. It's hard on those who struggle with it, but those who love the addict need support too. Matt Baer and Ryan Hedrick provide help and hope with Supporting Sobriety. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and on WIBC.com.
All right, Matthew, what are we looking at?
It's happening. Hammer crash on the north side, Kessler Boulevard of West 30th. One of the vehicles over the curb into an electric pole. Crash, Noblesville, Counter Street at 18th. Eastbound 465 slows from Keystone Avenue past Allisonville Road. Eastbound 70 stop and go after Harding. South split. Inbound 65 slow from 21st to Meridian Pad. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
39 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And cue up the band. We got a Damn Nature You Scary.
Oh, boy.
The Hammer and Nigel Show.
Do you suppose we'll meet any wild animals?
Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun.
The dingo ate your baby.
And now Hammer and Nigel proudly presents
Damn, Nature, you scary.
Lions.
And tigers. And bears.
Oh, my.
Dateline, Florida. A woman who was kayaking in alligator-infested waters was attacked by an alligator. She was boating near Tiger Creek Canal in Polk County, where we know the sheriff down there, Grady Judd.
Yeah.
This is according to the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission. The gator bit the woman on the elbow. Now, her condition is unknown, but 1.3 million gators live in Florida. It's actually rare when they bite and attack a human, but we were talking about this during the break. If you go kayaking in like freshwater, swamp water Florida, man, you got to think that there's gators in there, right?
I mean, you said it at the beginning of the segment. she went kayaking in gator-infested waters, or you said something to that effect, right?
Right.
Did she know they were gator-infested? I guess that's the only question I have.
I mean, aren't all like freshwater places in southern Florida running the risk of being gator-infected waters?
You're running the risk of getting bit by something or getting infected by something or just dying in general.
And it doesn't matter if it's freshwater or saltwater. Shark or gator, right? Sharks are in salt water.
Yes.
Gators are in fresh water. You go into the water in Florida, there's something that wants to make you its lunch every single time.
You prefer a shark or a gator if it's the end for you?
Probably a gator.
Yeah.
I feel like if I'm going to fight off one of these, I got a better shot against a gator than I do a shark.
All right.
That's for sure.
You don't have a shot with either one of them. But
No,
okay.
no.
Okay.
Top stories next.
Meanwhile, at Xfinity. So, influencer life going well?
Oh, yeah. I'm up to 32 followers.
Oh, that's something.
Yeah, posting my tap dancing videos is easier than ever because we engineered Xfinity Internet with 99.99% network reliability.
Plus, Xfinity Mobile with Wi-Fi Power Boost gives you ultra-fast Wi-Fi at home and on the go. But wait, tap dancing? You don't tap dance.
Hey, what I lack in skill, I make up with passion.
Do more of what you love and love how fast you do it with Xfinity Internet and mobile. Through April 17th, get 300 megabit Xfinity Internet and one unlimited mobile line together for $30 a month for 1 year and save over $1,000 in your first year versus other major carriers. Plus, ask how to get iPhone 16e on us. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Equipment tax and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply. Actual speeds vary. Savings compared to Verizon 5G Internet plus one unlimited welcome line and AT&T Internet 300 plus one unlimited starter SL line. Xfinity Internet required. Actual savings vary.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. Tax season is here, and what better way to reinvest in your home than with brand new energy-efficient windows? During Universal Windows Direct's Tax Time Sale, you can save big while making your home more comfortable and energy efficient. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free, and there's no limit. And here's something that will make your wallet even happier. Pay no interest until 2030. That's right, no interest for the next 6 years, making it easier than ever to afford the quality windows your home needs. But wait, there's more. This month only, Universal Windows Direct is giving you an extra $500 off your home improvement project. Whether you need a few windows or a full home upgrade, this bonus savings makes now the perfect time to act. Now, some restrictions may apply, so call today for your free in-home estimate. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Attention Indiana homeowners. Are you dealing with a wet and moldy crawl space? Hi, I'm Adam Swain with Swain Co. Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts dedicated to fixing your crawl space right the first time. And with our new no interest, no payment financing, you can get the repairs you need without breaking the bank. Don't let crawl space water problems dampen your spirits. Call Swain Co., Indy's most trusted waterproofing experts at 317-407-1868 or SwainCoLLC.com.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 765-545-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to BathsRUs.com. 765-545-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
The floodgates are about to open in Indiana as spring approaches. Don't press your luck thinking your sump pump is working properly before it's too late. A sump pump is vital to protecting your home from heavy rains and rising waters that can sneak inside and wreak havoc in your home. Luckily for you, during the month of March, my friends at Hope Plumbing are offering a $300 off the purchase of a new sump pump with a battery backup. Call Hope Plumbing today and keep your head above water.
Coming up in 2 minutes, police are investigating a double murder that happened in Brownsburg this morning. IMPD SWAT teams recovered over 16 pounds of weed during a couple of drug busts last month. And what President Trump said last night, that has to do with Indiana. Those stories all coming up after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 4 o'clock.
Some of the new tariffs are on hold. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. The White House announcing a temporary pause to some of the tariffs imposed on Canada and Mexico yesterday.
Following a phone call with the big three U.S. automakers, President Trump is exempting automobiles from the 25% tariffs imposed on Canadian and Mexican goods this week.
They requested the call, they made the ask, and the president is happy to do it. It's a 1-month exemption.
But White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump told the automakers their vehicles will not be exempt when reciprocal tariffs are implemented next month.
He told them that they should get on it, start investing, start moving, shift production here to the United States of America, where they will pay no tariff.
President Trump spoke with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, telling him Canada has not done enough to stop fentanyl from crossing into the U.S.
Fox's Jared Halpern. The White House considering lifting the temporary pause in military aid to Ukraine. The National Security Advisor Mike Waltz revealing talks have been held about setting up peace talks. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt says America loved the president's speech to Congress last night.
According to a CBS YouGov survey, an overwhelming 76% of those watching approved of President Trump's speech last night.
And Leavitt called the behavior of congressional Democrats during the speech disgraceful. The Supreme Court voting 5-4 today to uphold a lower court ruling that the Trump administration improperly cut some foreign aid spending.
At issue is foreign aid money from the State Department and the U.S. Agency for International Development, or USAID, that President Trump froze in January as part of his push to cut spending and further his agenda. Several nonprofit groups sued, saying that the administration violated federal law and was taking over the power Congress has to control spending.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers, Chief Justice Roberts, and Justice Coney Barrett voting with the majority. Wall Street, the Dow up 485 points just before the close. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A shooting this morning, 38 degrees and rainy downtown. Radar shows that rain is supposed to stick around most of today. And a low at 27 later with some of this rain possibly turning into some snow. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 4:02. Gunshots and a double murder happened in Brownsburg early this morning. Mark Halsey lives in the neighborhood where it happened, not far from where the shooting could have been heard along Acre Avenue.
Woke up to it this morning with my neighbor actually texted me to let me know something was going on down the street with the police cars, and it wasn't until we kind of got on the news and found out what was going on.
Halsey says he feels safe living in Brownsburg despite the shooting this morning. Police have detained one person as they continue to investigate. IMPD SWAT also pulled off a couple of drug busts in both Brownsburg and Indianapolis last month, says the department. Officers found nearly a pound of coke, almost 17 pounds of weed, 5 stolen guns, some unmarked pills, and over $4,000 in cash between both locations. One person's been arrested on 3 felonies for dealing drugs. Parts of President Trump's speech to a joint session of Congress last night held some of Indiana's industries up as examples of how he believes the tariffs are going to work. Chris Davis explains it all.
One of those was rather obvious.
Already, numerous car companies have announced that they will be building massive automobile plants in America, with Honda just announcing a new plant in Indiana, one of the largest anywhere in the world.
The president then talked about how the tariffs might improve the lives of Hoosiers who work in the steel industry.
If we don't have, as an example, steel and lots of other things, we don't have a military, and frankly, we just won't have a country very long.
His point being that tariffs on foreign steel, he believes, will ensure that we manufacture it here in the U.S. Republican Representative Marlin Stutzman tweeted his support for the tariffs, saying, Trump's tariffs are bringing jobs back to the crossroads of America, a sentiment not shared by most Democrats. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A cold front's supposed to move through Indiana tonight, turning this rain into a possible wintry mix. Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service in Indianapolis isn't expecting much in the Department of Accumulation if it does snow.
Generally, we're not looking at too much for accumulations, given that we were in the 60s yesterday, staying in the 50s throughout the night. And snow that does fall should melt for the most part.
Updike says temperatures are supposed to warm up by the weekend and stay mild through next week. Traffic and weather in about 60 seconds. It's 4:04.
Well, sure. Of course, we're all excited that spring is almost here in central Indy. But this month, when the weather still can't make up its mind and it's going back and forth between warm and cold, Hoosiers get a very specific type of roadway March Madness. It's called potholes. And they're a pain, but you know what? It's one of the reasons why I'm a AAA member. Peace of mind for the roadside assistance. I've had flat tires on the side of the road because of potholes. AAA has been there for me every time.
And if you're having tire issues, AAA's got you covered with their mobile tire service, My Pit Crew. They bring the tire shop to you. I've used this service before, and now that I got my two boys driving, this service protects the whole family. So if you don't have a spare, My Pit Crew from AAA, these guys are the best. MyPitCrew.com. You pick out the tires and schedule the install. Join AAA today. AAA members get a discount on My Pit Crew. You can get a AAA membership by calling 844-GO-AAA-GO or stop by any AAA office. AAA.com. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
The traffic on the 5s at 4:05. Here's Matt Baer.
Southbound 69, a stall after 96th Street, blocking the right lane, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 106th Street. Eastbound 465, stop-and-go traffic from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 right now, stop-and-go from 21st to Meridian Penn. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Thank you, Matt. And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Cloudy skies today with falling temperatures this afternoon. Could see some scattered showers. It's going to be windy with some of those rain showers changing over to snow showers later this evening. I'm Wish TV. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are
Yeah, Hammer, there are a bunch of different scenarios and scenes last night from Donald Trump's speech in front of the joint session of Congress. I mean, the kid with the 13-year-old with the cancer, the guy that was incarcerated by the Russians was freed. The person that was responsible for the 13 Afghanistan, the Gold Star families that blew them up that they had caught. But I think one of the best things was when Donald Trump started talking about Doge and he began rattling off ridiculous things our tax dollars are paying for. This was not so much a serious one. There were very serious moments, sort of like the ones I mentioned, but this one was serious, but it was also sort of comical.
Right, because it's true.
Yes.
Like, if you don't laugh, you'll cry. This is where some of your money is going.
Just listen to some of the appalling waste we have already identified. $22 billion from HHS to provide free housing and cars for illegal aliens. $45 million for diversity, equity, and inclusion scholarships in Burma. $40 million to improve the social and economic inclusion of sedentary migrants. Nobody knows what that is. $8 million to promote LGBTQI+ in the African nation of Lesotho, which nobody has ever heard of.
Lesotho.
$60 million for indigenous peoples and Afro-Colombian empowerment in Central America. $60 million. $8 million for making mice transgender.
$8 million from making mice transgender.
And then all those Democrats sitting there with that, the sourpuss look on their face, just shaking their heads like, yeah, well, okay, that's necessary.
People hate Donald Trump so much. There's probably somebody listening right now that can't wait to go to Facebook and write why transgender mice are way more important than having border agents. Right? There's somebody that hates Donald Trump so much.
Somebody's going to make that argument.
Well, I shared a meme on our Facebook page earlier this morning, Hammer and Nigel Facebook. It's, from that David Beckham documentary where he basically catches his wife being full of crap. But it's the same thing. People hate Donald Trump so much. I stand with Ukraine. Do you really? Yes. Do you really? No, I just hate Trump. Thank you. And that's what it comes down to. Here's a little bit more of where your tax dollars are going.
$32 million for a left-wing propaganda operation in Moldova. $10 million for male circumcision in Mozambique.
Oh.
$20 million for the Arab Sesame Street. A $3.5 million consulting contract for lavish fish monitoring. $1.5 million for voter confidence in Liberia. $14 million for social cohesion in Mali. $59 million for illegal alien hotel rooms in New York City. $250,000 to increase vegan local climate action innovation in Zambia. $42 million for social and behavior change in Uganda. $14 million for improving public procurement in Serbia. $47 million for improving learning outcomes in Asia. Asia's doing very well with learning. We know what we're doing. Should use it ourselves.
Like, I want Elon and Doge at this point. Listen, can you just reallocate some of the money? Think about what $59 million, that's the amount of money that Doge has said is going to New York City to house illegal immigrants.
Yes.
Illegal aliens.
Yes.
Take that $59 million and spread it through some of your bigger cities in the United States and house homeless veterans. People who have,
imagine that,
fought for our country that are down on their luck. Think about how much help you could do to veterans with $59 million. But instead, it's going to ridiculous stuff. At one point last night, Donald Trump was talking about some things that Doge found in the terms of Social Security.
3.47 million people from ages 120 to 129. 3.9 million people from ages 130 to 139. 3.5 million people from ages 140 to 149. 1.3 million people from ages 150 to 159, and over 130,000 people, according to the Social Security databases, are age over 160 years old. We have a healthier country than I thought, Bobby.
Looking at RFK Jr., Bobby Kennedy. So
those numbers are so ridiculous. And I could tell there was some heckling from the Democrats. Lies, blah, 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 blah. No, you just got caught.
Right. You have to sit there and own all of this crap. Now, Republicans, when it comes to spending, they've done their fair share. They don't get a free pass at all. At all. And you make this point all the time, Naj. This should be Republicans that are doing this. You shouldn't have to outsource the spaceman. Elon Musk to have a group to do this. But after the speech was over, old man Bernie Sanders got his depends in a wad and had to come out and talk a little bit about these Social Security findings.
Nobody who was 150 years old or 200 years old or 300 years old is receiving Social Security checks.
Yeah, that's the point, Bernie. You made our case. Nobody is that damn old. Somebody's using those Social Security numbers. Where's the money? Bernie. You just made our case, you old socialist goat.
The money's being allocated. The people that are receiving it aren't really 300 years old.
Right.
Some fraud involved.
Maybe Bernie took it personally because he's close to that age. I don't know. And this is how you know it was a bad night for the Democrats. Liberal media had polling right afterwards, and it was favorable for Donald Trump, okay? Here's the CNN poll. Not Fox, not Breitbart. This is CNN, and the reaction that their listeners had to President Trump's speech.
To the results. What was your reaction to Trump's speech? 44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech. 25% somewhat positive, 31% negative.
So you add it up. Of course. 44% and 25%, very positive and positive. That's a good old-fashioned God-fearing 69%, Nige, on CNN that said this was good. CBS, the same network that employs Margaret Brennan, 76% say they approved the speech that Donald Trump gave last night. So between CNN and CBS, 69 and 76% said, yeah, we approve. The folks that are melting down need to understand it's a whole new ballgame now. You can get up in the morning at 6 a.m. and write your 9-paragraph soliloquy as to why Donald Trump is Satan, why he's Hitler, but understand, you're part of the reason why he won every swing state. Okay, Matt Bear, what's up?
Southbound 69 after 96 is still blocking the right lane. Stop it. It's back to 106th Street. 3-minute delay. Inbound 65 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 stop and go after Harding to the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Could see a little bit of freezing rain later on.
What?
Depends on how low the temperature goes. So we got a little drizzle, 39 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center, but the low tonight is scheduled to be 31. So if it gets to 31 and it's still raining a little bit, roads could be a little tricky, so be careful. Do us a favor. Jump over to that WIBC YouTube page. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. We're working for you today. We're having fun. We need 54 more people. 54 badass Americans, brave patriots, sexy Hoosiers, and those from other states. Give us a like. Give us a thumbs up. Help us get to 100 on the WIBC YouTube stream. Up next, it's America's fastest growing game sensation. Is this anything?
If you're getting to that age where you got to make decisions about Social Security, it's kind of a difficult thing to talk about and to decide. You have to consider a bunch of different stuff with Social Security, especially since some say it's running out of money. You need to consider the tax hit your benefits are going to take, your IRAs, 401k withdrawals, and finally, you got to consider spousal benefits. If you don't consider all these things, you could leave a lot of money on the table.
It's your retirement money. You should get every last penny out of your benefits. This is where Bill Demery comes in. Bill Demery, your retirement guy. He's also my retirement guy, based here in Indy. He can hook you up with a free, customized Social Security analysis. So if you've not yet filed for Social Security and you've saved more than $200,000, call Bill Demery and get that free, customized analysis right now. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
Greetings from our agency, your Indiana Health Insurance Pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for making us national sales leaders once again for 2024. Crazy sign-up periods are at last over. If you were told the ACA and you know it's still Obamacare was your only option, that's just not true. If you were told since you've signed up already, you must keep your ACA program for a year, that's not true either. If you do not have serious health problems, and God forbid make a living wage, the ACA is your worst option, and it can be canceled at any time. We feature coverages guaranteed age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. Self-employed, early retiree, or ACA victim, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. That's 317-563-0868 or rragency.org. As always, God bless America. Peace through strength and common sense government.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Hey guys, let's talk about feeling your best. If you don't feel that same energy, strength, you're moody, or it seems you've lost your drive with your partner, it could be low T. Testosterone therapy, or TRT, may be the answer, and you'll find true experts at Low T Center. Getting tested is fast and easy. They're not all the same. Don't settle for a standard dosage TRT program.
Learn about personalized therapy at a Low T Center near you. LowTCenter.com. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center by offering the expert, compassionate care you need.
When I was at my lowest, I would have 2 or 3 nurses come in to give me a pep talk, telling me it's okay to feel this way. It's normal, but you have us to support you and you will get through this.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our Rhino Shield has been on for 8 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Yeah, let's do it.
Big Nige, is this anything?
Come on.
With the price of eggs being a little high right now.
Oh, it's soaring.
The new thing is renting chickens. Chicken rentals are the new trend. People don't want to buy eggs. They'd rather rent the chickens and have the chickens drop the eggs.
And then sell them, too.
One service provides hens, feed, and support, allowing customers to collect fresh eggs at home for about $600 for a 6-month rental.
Hello.
Customers can expect around a dozen eggs per week from the 2 hens. Here is the owner of Rent the Chicken talking about his program.
The majority of everybody who rents loves it. And a lot of the customers decide they want to have the same birds. They get very attached to their birds, and when they come back, we tag them with a colored tag around the ankle so they can get the same birds back next year. You just let them out and walk around. They go in at night on their own. They want to roost up, and just real low maintenance, and people really enjoy it.
I'd like to know what the plan is for the predators for the chickens, because I have friends that they were neighbors of mine. They moved about 5 minutes away down in the country to a farm. They have chickens and cows and pigs and stuff, and they've got a big chicken area. And sometimes my buddy and his teenage son will sit out on the roof at night like snipers in Afghanistan used to do. Except instead of terrorists, they've got scopes and rifles, and they will take out foxes and any predators that will come after because those things come after those chickens, and you're screwed.
Right.
Not just foxes, other sorts of foxes are the only things I
Coyotes!
know. Coyotes! Yes, coyotes and they will sit out on top of their roof. And you know how you see like in a war movie where they're sniping out some sort of war-torn area, and their legs are spread, and they've got their eyes through the scopes.
They're laying on their bellies sometimes.
On their bellies, on their bellies. Except they're taking out foxes and coyotes, just so they can protect the chickens.
Right.
Because those foxes and the coyotes and whatever else get in there, and then they turn around and sell those eggs for a premium.
Okay, so here's what needs to happen. If people are willing to buy this rent the chicken program for $600, your friends need to go into business and become like chicken bodyguards. They charge per the hour.
Chicken Secret Service.
Correct. Chicken Secret Service. They show up in little suits. They hang out on the roof.
Little suits.
And they protect your chickens until the sun comes up. I'm telling you, there's money to be made there. Is this anything? A group of Burger King employees in Minnesota paid tribute to a longtime customer by having his name engraved on his favorite chair.
Oh,
Jerry recently passed away at the age of 91, and they showed up to his funeral with the engraved chair. Here are Jerry's children and Burger King employees talking about Jerry and the chair.
Someone came into the kitchen at church and said, the whole crew of Burger King is here, and they brought a chair. It was filled with joy and just wanted to start bawling at the same time.
Sure.
It was just something else.
I've never had anybody want to memorialize a chair in the dining room for somebody.
A place of honor, a seat of honor.
That was his seat. He always sat there every morning, so we had to bring his chair.
Somebody help me out with like what it is with old guys, like really old guys, and showing up to fast food places every morning at 5 o'clock in the morning and sitting there and reading the paper and drinking coffee.
Makes them feel normal, I think. Like you're out, you're not at home, you're out, you're doing something, you're having some interaction with other people, you're talking to the waitress.
I'm almost 49 years old, and if I woke up at 4:30 in the morning to get to Burger King at 5 and started sipping off coffee in the bench and reading the paper, my wife would not think I was normal.
Yeah, but what if you didn't have a wife, though? Let's say she kicked the bucket years ago or just left you.
Well, left you probably.
Right, more likely it's
scenario.
Choice B, right? You're like a widowed dude during your 90s. The kids have all moved out. They got grandkids.
I think it's beautiful. He's got a memorialized chair. That's my dream in life, except not at Burger King. Probably at like BW3s. BW3s. Give me a chair, BW3s, as I aptly pronounced it at on the live stream.
We're putting the song from yesterday into Hammer and Nigel Records Madness, which begins next Monday, by the way.
Okay.
That's going to make the field. Last one, is this anything? Millie Bobby Brown took to social media to call out journalists who criticize her looks.
Oh, no.
Here's part of her post.
I started in the industry when I was 10 years old, and for some reason, people can't seem to grow up with me. Instead, they act like I'm supposed to stay frozen in time, like I should still look the way I did on Stranger Things Season 1. And because I don't, I'm now a target. One article reads, "Why are Gen Zers like Millie Bobby Brown aging so badly?" Written by Lydia Hawkin. "What has Millie Bobby Brown done to her face?" Written by John Eli. Millie Bobby Brown mistaken for someone's mum as she guides younger sister Ava through LA. Written by Cassie Carpenter.
I can't.
Another article reads, Little Britain's...
11, was that her name in Stranger Things? And now she was a kid when Stranger Things started taping, and now she's an adult. I would never be in a situation where I'm a writer and start criticizing somebody's looks from when they were 11 to 18 years old. That sucks. That's part of the business, though. Welcome to the party.
Right.
That's Hollywood.
You could be a private citizen, Millie. Just give back all the money and move back to the middle of the country.
There's that, too. But there is also, that's part of being a celebrity.
Right.
That's it.
You don't hear Joy Behar saying, "I wish Hammer and Nigel didn't call me fat. I wish Hammer and Nigel didn't call me all these horrible names." Joy Behar takes it. Maybe Millie needs to put her big girl panties on and deal with it. I'm just saying. It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
When you're running a small business, every dollar counts. And there's lots of ways you could try saving money, like, say, subletting half your office to an exotic pet shop, or downsizing your fleet of catering trucks to a fleet of catering scooters. Or you could try a smarter way to save. Switch to Comcast Business Mobile. It could save you up to 70% on business wireless compared to AT&T, Verizon, and T-Mobile, and save you the hassle of having a parrot as your desk mate. So don't compromise your business to save money. Keep it growing with Comcast Business Mobile, an incredible value and smarter way to save. Comcast Business Mobile, powering smarter savings, powering possibilities.
Restrictions apply. Compares weighted average of providers based on optimized pricing. Comcast Business Internet required. Reduced speeds after data usage included with plan. Savings may vary.
Thousands of Hoosier veterans are struggling with homelessness, unemployment, and other urgent needs. With your help, Veteran Support Network provides housing, job training, food, and emergency assistance. And every dollar stays in Indiana. Veteran Support Network, in partnership with Dreisky Moving and Storage in Westfield, working together to support local veterans. Go to VeteranSupportNetwork.org to help with rent, utilities, auto repairs, home repairs, and more. Stand with Indiana veterans. Donate now at VeteranSupportNetwork.org.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe, laugh until your belly aches, cry because you care so much, and experience everything that makes your life truly extraordinary. For 150 years, Franciscan Health has been there, watching extraordinary lives unfold. Love your extraordinary life.
I occasionally have nerve discomfort in my hands, so the things I love to do...
Let's play something, Grandma.
...became difficult as I got older.
If you have occasional stabbing and burning in your hands and feet, try Nervive Nerve Relief. Nervive's clinically studied dose of alpha-lipoic acid reduces occasional nerve discomfort in as little as 7 days with continued daily use. Say yes to healthy nerves with Nervive Nerve Relief. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. 93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
On its way to the Senate, 50 degrees with some rain showing up on a radar around Indianapolis, and that rainfall probably going to keep up into this evening with lows dropping below 30 and chances for snow. I'm Harrison Silcox for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 4:31. The police buffer law gets another go at the State House. That's the one that says if you get within 25 feet of a police officer doing their job, you could be arrested. Language added this time around says the officer has to have determined your being there as interference. Chief Kyle Pruitt of the Plainfield Police Department likens it to a disruptive parent at a youth ball game.
Nobody would bat an eye at an official telling that person to be quiet, and if they didn't then be quiet, to ask them to leave, and if it came to it, to have them escorted out of the facility.
The law passed in 2023 was later ruled unconstitutional. This new version is on its way to the state Senate. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says she's disappointed in the lack of support Democrats showed for President Trump during his joint address to Congress last night.
Democrats didn't stand to keep men out of women's sports. They couldn't even clap for a girl who got her head smashed in by a man on a volleyball court. Democrats didn't stand for an innocent and beautiful child who is surviving brain cancer. They opposed eliminating taxes on tips and Social Security.
Shortly after the speech started, Democrat Alan Green was removed for interrupting the whole thing. Green said it was worth it. Support for the president's speech last night came from where you might expect, and so did the criticism. Here's Chris Davis.
I am a great example of the American dream, and everybody needs to be able to live their American dream, and that's exactly what President Trump is delivering on.
An enthusiastic Representative Rudy Yakum in a video posted to X as he walked into the chamber. Republican lawmakers from Indiana of like mind as they tweeted about the speech. Democrat Andre Carson prefaced many of his tweets with the words fact check, in particular criticizing Trump's comments on Social Security fraud, saying he does not believe such fraud exists. He also says Trump is giving qualified federal workers the boot to replace them with what he says are unqualified MAGA loyalists. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Strong winds and light rain going to be happening all day long, says forecaster Aaron Updike with the National National Weather Service. And then a cold front moves in.
We'll still have some scattered rain showers throughout. And then as we get into the evening hours, we're going to start approaching that freezing point, and these rain showers will start turning into snow showers.
He says winds could gust up to 40 miles per hour at times today. And the market bounced back. The Dow up by 485 to 43,006. The Nasdaq increasing by 267 to 18,552. And the S&P 500 up by 64 points, closing the day at 5,842. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 4:34.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
With traffic at 4:35, here's Matt Baer.
All right, Harrison, stall cleared on southbound 69 after 96. Still slow after 106th Street down to 82nd. Also looking at inbound as 70. This is going to be eastbound 70 from the west side. Hardy Street to the south split, 6-minute delay. Inbound 65 slows 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. And south side, eastbound 465 stop and go traffic after 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Get ready for a messy Wednesday evening. As this system moves through our region, we're going to see wind certainly be kicked about all throughout the evening hours, as well as some rain eventually morphing into snow overnight. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sutis for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hey, Hammer. Set this segment. This is the time of day where you list off the people, the dignitaries, the politicians who screwed you on property tax.
Yes, they're having a discussion about property tax at the State House today. If you follow Rob Kendall on social media, he's like live tweeting this kind of like it's the Super Bowl. This is like his deal, right? Here's an example of what I'm talking about. 54 minutes ago from Rob's Facebook post, quote, Mooresville superintendent went to the Greg Taylor School of Dumbassery and Fear-Mongering. Out go the lights if you get property tax relief. So the Mooresville superintendent's probably saying something along the lines of, well, if we go back to 2021 levels, we might have to sacrifice children at the altar. Now, the fear-mongering is out of control. But these are the people, never forget these names, that screwed you.
All right, let's do it.
Travis Holdman, Scott Baldwin, Brian Buchanan, Chris Garton, Mike Gaskell, Tyler Johnson, Ryan Mishler, Rick Niemeyer, Linda Rogers, Kyle Walker. They're members of the Senate that, as soon as they got the opportunity, gutted SB 1 and removed any sort of property tax relief for the majority of Hoosiers.
That's all right. The House will fix it.
Well, you hope, but the Senate passed it through knowing that they didn't do a damn thing. So that's what's happening today, and I'm sure Rob will have the latest on that tomorrow. Meanwhile, Governor Braun signed 2 executive orders aimed at protecting women in college sports and rejecting, quote, extreme gender ideology by affirming policies based on biological sex. So at a national level...
I'm sure there's somebody upset about that.
Right. At a national level, we heard all of those Democrats that said, no, we like it when biological dudes built like Randy Macho Man Savage compete against your daughter. We think that's fantastic. But at a state level here, Braun signed a couple executive orders ahead of International Women's Day that basically are designed to protect women, biological women, playing against each other in sporting contests. The executive orders aim to maintain a, quote, level playing field and ensure that Indiana law is based on the reality of biological sex.
Well, you know, that was another thing with Donald Trump's speech. Peyton McNabb, a former high school volleyball player, injured by a transgender opponent, honored. Did you see that? Honored at the joint address to Congress last night. Lots of people clapping for Peyton McNabb, but some people sat in their seats, were very happy that Peyton was injured by a transgender opponent playing volleyball.
And again, for the haters, I'm not saying transgender athletes can't play sports, but they need to have their own league, right? If you are making the decision to change your body and you're taking hormones and maybe you got stuff being removed, maybe added, I don't know. There needs to be your own league for that, okay? Find enough people, compete, that's great. But if you make that decision to change who you are, then I'm sorry, biological men should not compete against biological women.
And that's, when you say that, that sounds normal. That sounds, yes, of course. But this woman suffered a concussion, brain bleed, and a permanent whiplash after a spike to the face.
From somebody with male DNA.
Yes. Just saying. That's why you're seeing a lot of these executive orders go through.
Which it's ridiculous it has to happen. Like the common sense of like trying to explain to a child, what is the governor doing? He's making sure that men play against men, women play against women. Okay, that should be fair. That's balanced, right?
Yeah.
But every single Democrat senator, every one of them at a national level voted against that. All right, fine. Let me know when your daughter is going toe-to-toe against a chick that is built like Mike Tyson. It's going to be different when you have your family members down there, I promise you.
Different.
Just a little bit. Speaking of Trump, he put out a statement yesterday, and if you want to find the dumbest people on social media, well, one, it's really not that hard. But number two, look for the people that are upset about his illegal protest post. So Donald Trump put out a post on Truth Social where he's threatening to take away federal funding for these colleges and universities for what he calls illegal protests. Now, what he's talking about is you can't set up an encampment, threaten Jewish students, or like we saw here during the George Floyd protests, you can't get out of your car, block traffic, and point a gun at somebody like the fat guy in Zubaz pants did. Yeah. That is what we call an illegal protest. But you got all the Johnny do-gooders, all the people on social media that get up first thing, 6 o'clock in the morning, right before they pee. They have to rip on Trump on social media before they go to the bathroom. There's no such thing as an illegal protest. It's in the Constitution. It's protected. Peaceful protest is protected, yes. But for certain things, it is illegal. Like IU Bloomington. They had a policy in place previously. You cannot have like an encampment that goes after hours, or you can't take up certain spaces. And you certainly can't threaten Jewish students. And again, George Floyd, the quote-unquote peaceful protest that took place in the Summer of Love. You can't throw a brick through a window and say that that's a peaceful protest. That's not how this works. So what Donald Trump is doing is saying, we're not going to have a repeat of what some of these Ivy League schools and UCLA and Indiana did this past year. You have a situation like that where students are threatened. They can't get into their classes. Janitors are being held hostage like they were at Columbia. That's what he's talking about here. There is illegal protest.
And as you alluded to earlier, if that is the first thing you are doing when you're waking up and, you know, going to the bathroom, male or female, you're sitting down to pee when you're when you're writing out those rants.
Right, correct. In your Ukrainian pajamas, usually, 100%. There have been some hiccups in a plan to build a road in Florida with radioactive waste, Nige.
Oh, no.
I know we were just talking about this off the air. We can't wait for the Florida road that's built with radioactive waste to get done.
Boy, come on.
The project has kicked off some legal battles to stop it from happening. Here's Abby from the executive director of Suncoast Waterkeeping talking about some of the problems that radioactive waste causes.
We don't want to put workers in harm's way as they construct these roads. I mean, that is primary concern. But secondary is that we don't want this sort of water running off into our creeks and into our bays.
Would you want a radioactive waste highway in your neighborhood?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess it just depends how easily the potholes would be filled. You tell me, hey, look, we're going to just put a tad bit of radioactive waste, but you're not going to have any potholes? Give it to me.
I think we got a ball game. Give me a little bit of radioactive waste. Nobody's getting brain cancer. Nobody's keeling over. Just a little waste, like diet waste.
Yeah, sure. I think I can get down with that.
Waste greater than the streets in Indianapolis.
Oh, yeah.
I'm with you.
Yes. Oh, man. Winters are so long here in Indy. And if you're like me, you were like me at least. You were tired of seeing and feeling that winter weather coming in past your old windows. Do what I did. I got brand new, high quality, energy efficient Window Nation windows. They put them in my house in a day. They look great. And right now, you can get 2 free windows with every 2 you buy. You get 0 interest, 0 payments for 2 years, pay nothing until 2027.
Schedule a fast and free estimate with the experts at Window Nation. And these guys are experts. I've seen it firsthand. When they come to your house, they're sending somebody that's got a lot of years experience. They're going to measure multiple times before they cut. They do everything right the first time, and they get out. And right now, you could get 2 free windows with every 2 that you buy. And there's no limit. And you have 0 interest, 0 payments, pay nothing until 2027 options as well. Call Window Nation. At least speak to somebody and set it up. 866-90-NATION or go to windownation.com.
Life-changing discovery should never be left to chance. IU Indianapolis is Indiana's premier urban research university, home to 50 research centers and institutes, which means our students don't just study groundbreaking research. They make their very own breakthroughs from day one. We're here to make the future happen. Bring on tomorrow. IU Indianapolis. Discover what's next at go.iu.edu/breakthrough.
Point! Hey, you okay? You don't normally miss those shots.
I just haven't been as regular lately, and it's making me feel sluggish.
You should try Metamucil. It's been a game changer for me. Metamucil's plant-based psyllium fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Ace, you're moving better than you were last week.
Definitely.
Metamucil keeps you moving. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Learn more at metamucil.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hi, this is Malia with Family Heating and Air, and as a mom myself, I know it's really important to keep the kiddos healthy. Air quality, humidity, those are super big issues on my concern list. If you share any of these concerns, give Family a call, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
You want to listen all day to WIBC, but you don't always have time. Don't worry. There's a podcast for that. The WIBC Mashup. Daily highlights from your favorite hosts, Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, and Hammer and Nigel. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
All right, Matthew, what are we looking at?
Inbound 69, stop and go traffic, 106th Street to 82nd. Inbound 65, a 4-minute delay from 21st to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, stop and go Harding to the south split, a 9-minute delay. On the northwest side, northbound 465, slow, 86th Street up to 865. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Coming up a little bit after 5 o'clock, yes, we will reset the Trump speech last night, but we had some action on Capitol Hill earlier today. Mayors of sanctuary cities were invited in, and let's just say in-your-face Nancy Mace came to play.
Oh, boy.
We got some audio coming up for you a little bit after 5 o'clock. Right now, 39 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. And please, Mr. Attorney General of the great state of Indiana, Todd Rokita, kick off some legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Crime, punishment, judges, legal stuff.
Legal stuff.
Nudge, do you or maybe more likely any of your kids play Candy Crush on the phone?
No, not anymore. I feel like it's sort of an antiquated app on the phone.
Like Angry Birds?
Yeah, something like that. They're doing like a version of Tetris now. It looks like Tetris, but it's kind of like a modern day thing. I don't know what it is. Why? Why do you ask?
A British woman's Candy Crush addiction just earned her $215,000 in a court payout.
Shut up.
She got hooked on Candy Crush after her doctor put her on a high dose of medication that can screw with impulse control. So the court ruled that the doctors should have warned her of this side effect, and they paid out $215,000 in damages for her Candy Crush spending and mental anguish.
The doctors should have warned this woman she could get addicted to Candy Crush.
Yes.
And spend lots of money. That's how she got over $200,000 in damages.
That's correct.
So, well, welcome to this is where is this? This is England?
In the UK.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh my God. Jeez. Oh, I could be like a millionaire right now if I did the same thing with Fortnite or Roblox.
Or drinking or gambling or
any addictive sort of affliction, sure.
Let's move over to the UK. We'll do like our own Benny Hill type of show and see if we can come back with a couple $100,000. Nige, what do you say?
Yeah, count me in.
More legal stuff. A former high school student in Connecticut now suing her school district because she graduated without being taught how to read or write. On top of that, the school diagnosed her with dyslexia on the last day of her senior year.
Of course they did.
And still passed her through. Here is Alicia talking about what teachers would tell her to do rather than learning to read or write.
They would just either tell me to sit in a corner and sleep or just draw pictures, flowers for them.
Hey, don't worry about the math homework. Just go in the corner and did you bring your pillow? Because we'd like you to take a nap. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's real. It's real. It happens in these schools, man. I very fortunate my kids go to good schools where I don't think that would ever happen, but it's I think it's an anomaly. I think it's the exception rather than the rule.
Right.
But it
does happen.
Scary. It's like, all right, well, this person is not responding to our attempts to learn her. So, yeah, let's tell her to take a nap.
Just don't disrupt the rest of the class. Go to sleep, and we'll pass you through.
And then, did she say she got diagnosed with dyslexia the last day of school?
Final day of her senior year. Yes.
Oh, that's gross, man.
Nige, on a new Reddit thread, the discussion is, what's an old person habit that you have picked up or adopted over the last couple of years? An old person habit. Here are the top answers. Tell me if you've picked up any of these. doing weekend errands before noon to beat the crowds, eating early dinners.
Hold on. I will do weekend errands, not to beat the crowd, but so I can watch sports later that day.
Okay.
Get the honey-do list down for the wife.
Eating early dinners. Like, are you Seinfeld's parents yet?
Not the 4:30 early bird special, no.
Okay.
No. But, sometimes I'll eat here before I go home, and that'll be it.
This is one that I do, and I've been doing it for a while.
Yeah.
When you're in your car and you're trying to park, or maybe you're lost and you're trying to find your turn, you turn the car radio down. Like, I don't know why that makes a difference, but I really want to focus on what I'm doing here. So I turn the music down on the radio.
You don't know the directions. You don't know exactly where you're going, so you turn WIBC down just to make sure you're able to concentrate.
Correct. Using lap or heated blankets.
Lap blanket? Well, I've used heated blankets. We have these blankets called Lolas. Anybody have you heard of Lolas?
Lola.
I haven't.
Look up Lola blankets. Oh man, we had to order like 5 of them for every room in the house. Love them. That's what I consider a lap blanket. Yes, I use those all the time.
And this one, you don't want to go to anybody's house. You'd rather have them go to yours because you don't want to travel.
Yes. Oh, please.
You hate doing stuff. You made that clear in the drunken video you did with Rob. You hate doing things. I hate going out. I hate doing stuff.
I hate doing things.
Yes.
I really just hate doing things. Yes. It's the option of me going somewhere or someone coming to my house and visiting. Yeah, come on over.
Caller number 9 right now, 239-9393. 2 tickets to go see Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Cool.
Saturday, October 25th.
They're going to come to my house.
National Center.
They're going to perform at my house.
They're not at Nigel's house. Caller number 9, 239-9393.
So the guys that make Barkeep Vodka are all about local, and they have been using this compression filtering process that reduces bite, burn, aftertaste. It's really the smoothest vodka we've ever tasted, and it's a better value than almost all other top shelf vodkas out there.
Barkeep Vodka, an amazing vodka, a top shelf vodka with a lower price, and it's made and distilled with corn from Indiana farmers. Pick up your bottle of Barkeep Vodka. Any grocery or liquor store, visit barkeepvodka.com.
Has the holiday season left you overwhelmed, stressed out, and overweight? Do you feel frustrated when you think about what you need to do to be healthy and feel better? You deserve a simple approach to a stronger, healthier, and more enjoyable life. Exercise Inc. has been helping people in Central Indiana reach their health and fitness goals for 20 years. The approach is simple. Strength train with a certified coach once a week for 20 minutes. Adopt the 9 simple habits you need to follow to change your health and lose weight. Then get out there and enjoy life, because you'll be stronger and have more energy, and you're going to feel better, and you'll lose weight, and you'll probably even look better too. And you may even be able to get off of some of those prescription medications. Exercise Inc., Avon, Brownsburg, Greenwood, Zionsville, and now in Fishers. The studios are private, no mirrors, no music, and no spandex. Just you and a professional coach working to reach your goals for the new year. Go to exerciseinc.com today to sign up for a free consultation.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Guy Relford here. Time again for the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show this coming weekend at the State Fairgrounds, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There's never been a more important time to exercise our rights as true Americans. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See the best in sporting, hunting, and personal protection gear, plus great displays of Americana. Come see us this weekend at the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show, Friday 2 to 7, Saturday 9 to 6, and Sunday 9 to 4. It's the Indy 1500 Gun and Knife Show. See you there.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go. Shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
If you used to hear a whole lot of this, but now you can barely hear this, you need to check out RelayIndiana.com and CapTel, the caption telephone. CapTel allows you to get your groove back when using the telephone. It uses voice recognition technology so you can read on a bright screen what the other caller is saying. Go to RelayIndiana.com and add clarity back into your conversations with CapTel, the caption telephone from Relay Indiana. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Your local news coming up in a couple of minutes after Fox News Radio from the Technology Recycler Studios. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 5 o'clock.
Highlighting control of the border. I'm Jack Callahan, Fox News. Vice President Vance leading a delegation to the U.S. southern border at Eagle Pass, Texas today, which just a few months ago was a hotspot for illegal immigration.
The reason why this particular site has gone from over 1,500 crossings per day to 30 crossings per day is because President Trump has empowered and, in fact, demanded that his whole government take the task of border control seriously.
Defense Secretary Hegseth adding,
President Trump gave us a charge. 100% operational control of the southern border. Border security is national security.
But the mayors of New York, Boston, Chicago, and Denver today defended their sanctuary city policies in a hearing before the House Oversight Committee. Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson claiming
any actions that amplify fears of deportations make Chicago more dangerous.
But Committee Chairman James Comer said
these policies only create sanctuary for criminals.
The administration is considering cutting federal funding to sanctuary cities which don't cooperate with immigration and customs enforcement. The Supreme Court, in a narrow ruling today, refusing to overturn a lower court ruling that the administration must restore $2 billion in payments from the U.S. Agency for International Development that it had ordered stopped. Those payments for work already performed. Justice Samuel Alito, among the 4 dissenting votes, said the ruling supports judicial hubris from a judge that overstepped his authority. The White House will pause for 30 days. 25% tariffs on automobiles imported from Canada and Mexico under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement at the request of the big 3 automakers. Wall Street, bogged down by tariff fears earlier in the week, came roaring back today. The Dow closing 486 points higher. NASDAQ gained 268 points. The S&P 500 closing 64 points higher. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
2 people shot this morning, 37 degrees, cloudy with some rain on your radar around the capital city. Temps tonight supposed to drop below freezing. I'm Harrison Silcox from Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending. At 5:02, Brownsburg police are looking into a double murder that happened this morning. Authorities say they responded to Acre Avenue, where they found the 2 men dead. Mark Halsey, who lives around the corner, shares what the neighborhood's like.
There's some older folks that live down there. People have lived there for 10, 20 years. There's some younger couples that have moved in the recent, I would say, 3 or 4 years.
Police say 1 person has been detained so far. They're still investigating. IMPD SWAT pulled off a couple of drug busts in both Brownsburg and Indianapolis last month, according to the department. Officers found nearly a pound of coke, almost 17 pounds of weeds, 5 stolen guns, some unmarked pills, and over $4,000 in cash at both locations. One person's been arrested for 3 felonies for dealing drugs. You might remember what's called the police buffer law. Chris Davis reports on why it had to have a second take.
This is the one that says being within 25 feet of a cop trying to perform their duty could be illegal. The difference between the one that passed the State House Tuesday and the one ruled unconstitutional in 2024 is that the officer now has to determine that you being there is actually interference. Chief Kyle Pruitt, Plainfield Police, says it's a lot like a disruptive parent at a ball game having to be thrown out.
I think it's very similar to that, and we are very much supportive of it.
It's on to the state Senate with a proposed law next. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A cold front's supposed to move across Indiana tonight, bringing with it a wintry mix. Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service, though, isn't too worried about snow accumulation.
Generally, we're not looking at too much for accumulations, given that we were in the 60s yesterday, staying in the 50s throughout the night, and snow that does fall should melt for the most part.
Updike says temperatures are supposed to warm up this weekend and stay mild throughout next week. You're 1 minute away from traffic and weather. It's 5:04.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS. mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
The traffic on the 5s at 5:05. How are the roads looking, Matt Bear?
Harrison, inbound 65, stop and go traffic, MLK down to the north split. And then northbound 65 slow out of the north split up to 21st Street, and that's a delay of 3 minutes. Eastbound 70 grinding from Belmont into the south split, and that's going to be a 13-minute delay. On the northwest side, northbound at 465, stop and go 79 to 865. Eastbound 465 slow, Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. And inbound 69 slow, roll 106th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Get ready for a messy Wednesday evening. As the system moves through our region, we're going to see wind certainly be kicked about all throughout the evening hours, as well as some rain eventually morphing into snow overnight. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Renard Sudas for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there. Lots of audio for you, especially if you missed the Donald Trump speech last night, joint session of Congress. Right now, though, something new you may have missed. The sanctuary cities mayors were answering questions on Capitol Hill today. Hammer.
So you had the mayors of, quote, sanctuary cities like Boston and Denver, Chicago. They were all on Capitol Hill today talking about why they are, one, defying government orders, and two, how's it working out for you?
Like ICE retainers. Like, hey, somebody commits a violent crime in your city and they're here illegally. Can you just hold on to them until we get there?
Right. So
yeah, it's a little more complicated than that.
Right. Here is Chicago's mayor, Brandon Johnson. Now, mind you, his approval rating in the latest poll was around 10%.
Oh.
It was as low in previous polls as 6.6% in Chicago. I didn't think they could find anybody that'd be worse than Beetlejuice, but they did. Here is Chicago's mayor lying in his opening statement.
Our efforts to improve public safety by building trust with and investing in our communities are working. Violent crime is down in Chicago. The city ended 2024 with its lowest homicide rate in 5 years. The city is also safer because of our Welcoming City Ordinance. That law makes sure that the city's police resources are focused on our local priorities.
Just homicides may be down in Chicago, but are you really wanting to do a victory lap with how high those numbers are? And if you look at year over year, January of this year compared to January of last year, January of 2025 had more homicides. So be careful with the way you break that down there, Mayor. Crime is not down. Homicides for a number of years have gone down just a little, but it's still at a ridiculous amount. Here's a little bit more from Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Our local law enforcement focuses on getting all violent individuals
do you
off the
determine
streets
whether
of
they're here
Chicago.
legally, what their immigration status is as a function of your justice system?
The time's expired, but please feel free to answer the question, Mayor.
The Welcoming City Ordinance ensures that our local residents communicate and trust local law enforcement to ensure that criminals and crime is being addressed. And that's why violent crime has gone down in the city of Chicago.
A welcoming city. That's a new way of putting, I forget what it was called now. Sanctuary city.
Sanctuary.
Now they're welcoming cities.
Welcoming city, right? It's like saying, I don't have an STD. I have an unpleasant blister. It's the same thing. Nancy Mace, the representative from South Carolina, in your face, Nancy Mace. I think she'd had just about enough of Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Okay, do you believe it's acceptable for illegals who commit heinous crimes be released back into the public instead of being detained and deported?
Any individual that
Yes or no?
causes harm
Yes or no?
and breaks
Okay,
the
Mayor
law
Wu?
should be held accountable.
This is why you have 6% approval rating, because you suck at answering questions.
In your face, Nancy Mace.
Yeah, I mean, that is a yes or no question. Any illegal that commits a heinous, violent crime, should they be put on an ICE detainer? Well, let me just extrapolate. Let me explain this. Let me tell you what. Yes or no?
6.6%. Boston's Mayor Wu was there, as was Chicago's Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Yep.
Take a listen to Representative Gosar and his line of questioning to both of these folks who love the idea of being a sanctuary city.
Mayor Wu, I'll be showing up at your house tomorrow with my bags at 5 o'clock. Leave your doors unlocked, please. What are you making for dinner? Because I expect a warm meal and a balanced diet. Now, I'm going to need a car, and please leave me some cash because I'm going to need to go to my doctor's appointment on Friday. That would be to Mr. Mayor Johnson. Now, I don't want to sleep on the couch, so put me up at a luxury hotel. You're the Mayor Johnson.
So he's simply pointing out that the way some of these illegals
that's how they're being treated.
are being treated are better than citizens.
Maybe treated is not the right, accommodated.
Some of them are treated. You're staying in hotels and you're getting gift cards that have got cash loaded on them. I'd say that's being treated by these cities. So it was a pretty good showing of the backside of these sanctuary city mayors earlier today. Go back to last night.
All right.
Again, I think the wheels officially fell off for the Democrats when that dude who looks like the caveman from the Geico commercials, Al Green, the representative of Texas, kept making a scene.
That was at the beginning, right?
Kept standing up with his cane and yelling and trying to be like the most obnoxious person in a room full of obnoxious people.
Something about Medicare or something like that.
He was yelling about that, and finally it came down to the point to where J.D. Vance looked at the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, and they had to kick him out.
Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant at Arms to restore order Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Oh, Al wasn't as cocky afterwards. Like, he was very defiant in that room around his buddies. But once he got kicked out, he shut it up. He shut up pretty good. Which brings us to great moments in getting kicked out history. This was Dave Grohl on stage at a Foo Fighters concert.
Dave Grohl didn't get kicked out.
No, but he's kicked somebody out.
Get the out of my show right now. Get the out. Get the out of my show. You don't come to my show and fight. You come to my show and dance, you ass.
That's really what Mike Johnson was saying last night. Yeah. Those exact words, pointing to Representative Green. Great moments of getting kicked out history. Remember that IU basketball game when TV Ted Valentine kicked out Bob Knight because he ran on the floor and he was concerned about the safety of one of his players? And then he walked all the way across the floor a couple times.
Yeah, and like brushed right against referee Valentine. Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, yeah. Great moments in getting kicked out history.
Valentine is the one to call it, and he's the one who's got to take it back. And if he doesn't, then you've got to go with what you got.
And after 5 minutes or so,
walking across the floor,
through a thunderous standing ovation, Knight will finally exit.
Well, he's going to the other side where you can go in. You can go into the Indiana basketball locker room two ways. You can go that way that he went out to the training room. Bob Knight wants the fans in the game.
Was that Fish calling that?
That wasn't Fish. That was the TV call.
Okay.
Yeah, that was on ESPN, I think.
That was incredible footage. Yeah.
Also, from Trump's speech last night, this statement right here is true. If you don't follow politics at all, and maybe you watched this last night because it was on every channel or you were curious what he had to say, this sums up where we're at.
And once again, I look at the Democrats in front of me, and I realize there is absolutely nothing I can say to make them happy or to make them stand or smile or applaud. Nothing I can do. I could find a cure to the most devastating disease, a disease that would wipe out entire nations, or announce the answers to the greatest economy in history, or the stoppage of crime to the lowest levels ever recorded. And these people sitting right here will not clap, will not stand, and certainly will not cheer for these astronomical achievements. They won't do it, no matter what. Five times I've been up here. It's very sad, and it just shouldn't be this way.
And multiple indictments and sham impeachments and Russian collusion accusations, all false, all bogus. Yeah, maybe they should have. Maybe the Democrats should have rethought that strategy.
Right.
I'm just saying. I don't
and
know.
the things they protested last night. Again, I said this earlier. If you want to protest a Trump policy, all right, fine. But to not stand up and clap for the family of the comparators, right? The guy that got shot and killed in the assassination attempt on Trump's life at Pennsylvania. The family was there. They did not stand up and clap. The 13-year-old young man that had been battling cancer, that got to live out his dream and became a Secret Service agent, they did not stand and clap.
Guy that was held illegally by the Russians for a couple of years.
Did not. Yeah.
Nothing.
The announcement that we've apprehended the terrorist that killed the 13 men and women in the botched Afghan withdrawal did not stand and clap. The only time they stood and clap is when Trump talked about Ukraine, and that was it. They are Ukraine first, not America first. And the party has let the lunatics become the face. Too many people are leaving the Democratic Party right now because they just see the people that are in charge and they want no part of it. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. Representative Jasmine Crockett from Texas. She is kind of like a wannabe squad member. I don't think she sits at the cool girls table, but she wants to be.
She's working on it.
She's working on it. This is her thoughts on Donald Trump.
This is not what we should be doing. I don't even know why we fighting with Greenland. Why we fighting with Greenland? We fighting with Canada. We fighting with Mexico, yet we in love with Putin. What is happening? Like, this is not America. This is a terrible nightmare. Somebody slap me and wake me the f up, because I'm ready to get on with it.
That's an elected U.S. lawmaker.
Correct.
It's a representative of the United States.
Correct. So if you want her to be the face of the party, and AOC, who didn't even show up last night, that's fine. And maybe we'll ask Tony Kennitz. He's coming up at 5:30 why AOC wasn't there last night. I think he's got some thoughts on that. All right, Matt Bear, what's up?
Crash 86 at Payne. Right now, northwest side, northbound 465, stop and go 79th up to 865. Inbound 65, 10-minute delay. MLK down to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70 on an 11-minute delay from Tibbs Avenue to the South Split. Inbound 69, stop and go traffic 106th Street to 82nd. South side, eastbound 465, dragging from 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by the Tile Shop. Pros get more at the Tile Shop. More selection like new wood and vinyl flooring options for every budget. More perks and more service like free curbside pickup. Start getting more at the Tile Shop. Visit your local showroom today. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Again, the visual of Debbie Wasserman Schultz not standing up for the 13-year-old with cancer was sickening. And it wasn't just her. There was some big sweat hog mama sitting next to her that looked like Robin Williams' character in Mrs. Doubtfire. I'm not sure who she was, but she was sitting there with that scowl on her face, too.
Oh.
That's just unacceptable. If you're going to at least mail it in, stand up, half-ass clap. Give him some props of some kind. But you're not going to stand up for a 13-year-old kid with cancer who gets to become a Secret Service agent. That's going to be the headline coming out of anything that happened last night. 38 right now at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Are you okay with this? Next.
So the big question is, especially if you're around the age where it's time to start thinking about Social Security, when is the right time to file? It's sort of a difficult decision these days. You need to consider a lot. You need to consider the tax hit on your benefits and your IRA and 401k withdrawals. And finally, you got to consider your spousal benefits. And if you don't think about all these things I just mentioned, you could leave a lot of money on the table.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy, he can explain things to you in a way where you will understand it. The world of Social Security, the world of finance, it can be intimidating. There's a lot of information. But Bill Demery, based here in Indy, can walk you through the entire process with a free, customized Social Security analysis. All you got to do is call and set it up. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, 317-648-5120.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have health news, a CDC update.
Pneumococcal vaccination is now recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study.
Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
From a fast break to recovery, Indiana hospitals are here for every Hoosier, regardless of their ability to pay. That's why we're teaming up with legislators on a winning playbook to lower costs and protect access to care across our communities. Because good policy doesn't leave anyone on the sidelines. Learn more at HoosierLifeline.com.
Paid for by the Indiana Hospital Association.
I'll say this. There are no entries in the Hoops Fan Hall of Fame who didn't show up to the game. Yes, you in the back.
Professor, March Madness is coming to Indianapolis. Are we ready?
You prepared to bring the fire? Give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. The NCAA Sweet 16 and Elite 8, March 28th and 30th in Indianapolis. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. Class dismissed.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay?
Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
All right, Hammer, help me out with this one. YouTube is cracking down on content related to gambling as, sports betting and other online prediction markets have taken off in the United States, but YouTube is now cracking down on this sort of content. Can you maybe explain and tell me if you're okay with this or not?
So YouTube announced yesterday it will no longer allow content that directs users to, quote, unapproved gambling websites through links, images, text, logos, or verbal references.
Unapproved.
See, this is the thing that bothers me, and this is why I'm not okay with this. Who's approving this at YouTube? Who is the sports betting gambling czar that they've got over at YouTube that gets to decide what's approved and what's not? Does it have to be a sanctioned American sports book? Can you continue to just talk about betting? Maybe you want to talk about political betting. And even though it's been made legal in the United States, I don't think any sports books in America have actually made political lines, but UK does. You can get 2028 presidential odds on UK sports books.
You're kidding. And you did say it's legal in the United States, but nobody's like FanDuel or DraftKings aren't doing.
They're trying to distance themselves from anything political.
Okay, I get it.
But yeah, some of these UK places do. So is that going to be okay? It's a slippery slope here. And I don't like who gets to decide what's approved and not approved at YouTube. And why is this the thing where YouTube wants to be Johnny Tough Guy on? I can go to YouTube and watch terrorist attacks, people being beaten, people being set on fire, sex. I can watch all of that on YouTube. But if I want to get a place where I can bet on the Pacers against the Rockets, that's where they draw the line. That just absolutely cannot stand. So, no, I'm not okay with this. It's a slippery slope here. And I'm telling you right now, tinfoil hat, this just reeks of some other big, large betting conglomerate working with YouTube behind the scenes to drive traffic to their stuff. I don't have anything to back that up right now, but being around the sports betting game as long as I have, That's what it feels like here. So, no, I'm not okay.
Do you have anything you want to promote as far as The Degenerates, your podcast?
Well, tomorrow, the news show, we will have action for basketball games tomorrow night.
Okay.
I went 2-0 on the Tuesday show this past week. We got the Pacers a win last night. Right. We had a Degenerate special winner last night. But we will be talking about this. And when you start getting into rules and regulations, that's when we put up the Rob Kendall bat signal. So he's going to dive into this YouTube thing tomorrow, and I'll be busy making you money.
Choice. Got the last two here. What do you think?
Let's do the final one. Let's do the baseball story.
18-year-old kid, Utah. His name's Luke. He had to quit baseball when he got diagnosed with autoimmune disease. He just became the first kid from Utah to get a scholarship for cornhole.
Nice.
He's playing for Winthrop University in South Carolina. Here's Luke telling his story.
At first, I'm pretty blown away. I mean, it's not really a common thing to hear someone's going to college for what's known as a backyard game. We saw this cornhole tournament on Facebook, and we said, why not? Let's go do it, and ended up winning the whole thing. College baseball was always what I was looking towards. So my end goal, just from this experience overall, is to continue to grow my skills and get better as a player and then go pro once I am done with college.
I love it. Are you okay with that?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's and look, man, it doesn't matter what you get a scholarship for. This story of Luke kind of reminds me of Chris Hammer. Now, Chris never got sick, right? But when his high school baseball career came to an end, he had a couple options. Maybe go play at some small school out of state.
Sure.
Try to walk on at UIndy, or get some money for your education by being on the bowling team. So take that bowling money, kid. That's what Chris did. He gets about $1,000 for bowling. It's not, $600,000 that Trey Galloway allegedly gets at IU, but $1,000 is $1,000. It's better than nothing. Absolutely, I'm all right with this. All right, coming up next, Tony Kennett, host of the Tony Kennett Cast, coming up tonight at 7. We'll get his thoughts on everything Trump, Democrat response, why wasn't AOC there? That's all on the way right after the news with Harrison Silcox.
93 WIBC Mobile News, on the level. On the go.
The bill is getting a second chance. Cloudy and 37 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Radar showing some rain still hanging around. A low temp supposed to drop below freezing tonight. I'm Harrison Silcox. Here's what's trending at 5:30. The police buffer law gets another go at the State House. That's the one that says if you get within 25 feet of a police officer doing their job, you could be arrested. Language added this time around says the officer has to have determined your being there as interference. Chief Kyle Pruitt of the Plainfield Police Department likens it to a disruptive parents at a youth ball game.
Nobody would bat an eye at an official telling that person to be quiet, and if they didn't, then be quiet, to ask them to leave, and if it came to it, to have them escorted out of the facility.
The law passed in 2023 and then was ruled unconstitutional. The new version's headed to the state Senate. The remains of an Indianapolis man missing for more than a year have been found in Colorado's Mesa Verde National Park. John Herrick reports.
The National Park Service says rangers discovered what was left of Thomas Irwin last Friday. Prior to that, Irwin had been last seen on January 15th of 2024 while hiking the Petroglyph Point Trail. That's a narrow, rugged 2.4-mile loop with steep drop-offs. It forces hikers to climb a large stone staircase near the Petroglyph panel. Investigators are still trying to piece everything together. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says President Trump is making some changes on tariffs that could impact car manufacturers.
We are going to give a 1-month exemption on any autos coming through USMCA. Reciprocal tariffs will still go into effect on April 2nd, but at the request of the companies associated with USMCA, the president is giving them an exemption for 1 month so they are not at an economic disadvantage.
Trump apparently contacted Stellantis, Ford, and GM before announcing the pause. A bald eagle was found dead in a field in Valparaiso. Someone had called the Indiana Department of Natural Resources about it on Monday when the bird was still alive but not flying. Officers were able to capture it without any problems, but a test for avian flu came back positive. The eagle died in quarantine. Hey, Mike Woodson, what do you think about those refs last night?
We had our chances, but listen, guys, in a physical game like this,
It can't be 21-7. You gotta be kidding me.
IU's basketball coach not too pleased about the disparity at attempted free throws between the Hoosiers and Oregon Ducks last night out west, blaming the officials for not calling a fair game. Indiana lost by 9. They've got one more game left on their regular season scheduled. It's at home against Ohio State this Saturday. With traffic at 5:32, here's Matt Baer.
What's happening, Harrison? Looking at the northwest side, northbound. 465 stop and go, 79th up to 865. Inbound 65, 6-minute delay. MLK to Meridian Penn. Inbound 69, slow roll 106th Street down to 465. Eastbound as 70 jammed up from Belmont into the South Split. 13-minute delay for you. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic after 31 through 65 interchange. Crash north side, 86 at Payne Road. A report of a down utility pole there. Traffic sponsored by Rocket. If you feel like owning a home has been out of reach, Rocket is here to change that. Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET. Again, that's rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
And here's your forecast from the American Standard Heating Weather Center.
Get ready for a messy Wednesday evening. As this system moves through our region, we're going to see wind certainly be kicked about all throughout the evening hours, as well as some rain eventually morphing into snow overnight. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Bernard Sudas for 93 WIBC.
I'm Harrison Silcox on the Level on the Go and on WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. That's Jason Hammer over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He is an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal and the host of the Tony Kinnett Cast every Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock right here at 93 WIBC. All right, Jonas, right out of the gate, loaded question. What was your favorite moment of the Trump speech last night?
My favorite moment last night was, without a doubt, Trump listing all of the various waste and spending projects that his administration had discovered.
We played that audio earlier. It's beautiful.
No one even knows where Lesotho is. I mean, come on, it's fantastic. I mean, you cannot beat the routine of comedy against something that Americans truly despise. It's an 80-20 issue. And, I mean, looking at the CBS YouGov poll afterward, which – 72% approval rating on that speech, and only 48% of those watching are Republicans? Dude.
So, Tony, was a bigger story last night the things that Trump talked about or the way the Democrats behaved? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that Republicans haven't made an ass of themselves at speeches before, but last night, not standing up and cheering for the kid with cancer, not supporting the fact that a terrorist behind the botched Afghan withdrawal is being brought to justice, just sitting there. Those were free campaign commercials for Republicans last night. What was the bigger takeaway for you, Trump's messaging or the way the left behaved?
Oh, the way the left behaved is clearly the bigger takeaway. And it's the biggest takeaway because, as you guys know, I really don't like telling everyone how right I was. So this is definitely one of those times when I have to kind of bite the bullet and say, you know what, I was right. The Democrats are destitute. CNN's first statement after the State of the Union style address was Democrats are in complete disarray. They have no idea what they're doing. Some of them showed up looking like a sad Valentine's Day ad.
I saw that.
The other half were shaking canes. Bernie Sanders looks like he had gas. I mean, it was embarrassing. And Nancy Pelosi was eating her lips. I mean, what do you do at that point? I've never seen a party more embarrassed. They were wearing like camp T-shirts. One said, like, resist. Someone else was like, there's no kings here. It's like, what? Who printed these T-shirts for you? Vistaprint?
Holding up the little signs that said Elon. What was the
Elon Steels?
Elon Steels.
I hear Elon Steels. Elon said, do I hear a false? All right, and sold to the ugly lady from Michigan.
It did look like an auction paddle. It really did.
I haven't seen Democrats bring that many auction paddles to an event since before the Civil War.
Oh, okay. How about old Representative Al Green being shown the door? Now, I don't know if this was more of J.D. Vance kind of making the side eye to House Speaker Johnson, or maybe it was like in The Grinch, where House Speaker Johnson's Johnson grow 10 times that size and actually showed some testosterone and kicked that clown out. I don't know who made the call, but it kind of set the tone.
Oh, it was Speaker Johnson, because he doesn't play with that kind of stuff. A lot of people think that he's kind of weak on that, and that's because he gets a lot of griping at him because he's the Speaker of the House, and the Speaker of the House has to negotiate. He has to make deals. That's the job. I hate that that's the job, but that's the truth. But when it comes to decorum, when it comes to being an angry Baptist from Louisiana, who you might have guessed I have an affinity for angry Baptists, he ain't playing around. And so when the guy got up and started shaking his gold-handled cane like a Disney movie villain and started yelling about Medicare, which Trump wasn't even talking about, like, I remember when you could buy 3 bees for a lemon. And Johnson's like, sit down, and then chucked him out. It was amazing.
Back to something that Hammer started out with, Donald Trump's messaging. I'll admit, yesterday I was kind of looking forward to seeing what all the Democrats and their shenanigans and the stuff they would pull. And pretty soon, after watching a few minutes of Donald Trump and his accomplishments and listing off just his kind of forward-thinking type speech, I stopped paying attention to those guys.
Really?
I really stopped.
To the Democrats.
I stopped paying attention to the Democrats, and I think what, like, overall his main messaging. I know you mentioned Doge and all the cost cutting, but overall his messaging was that of positivity and looking forward.
So Donald Trump's 2017 State of the Union address, because I'm a big nerd, or his 2017 speech after the election in 2016, was that the American spirit had been renewed. And now he has come back in 2025 to deliver an address called The Renewal of the American Dream. So an idea, it starts with the spirit behind it, and then when it starts to move forward, you have to have a vision. That's what Trump tried to paint. That's one of the things that Elon Musk has been focused on. Believe it or not, it's actually gotten Congress to work, which I'm still shocked over. And that is really popular with the country, because what we've been hearing for years now, from in the George Bush era, it was America has to be on defense and everyone's the same. We just got to teach them how to democracy. And then Obama got up in front of the world and apologized. And then Biden got up in front of the world and spoke gibberish. So now you've got Trump bringing a vision forward. It's kind of hard not to like that. I mean, he's out there like Oprah saying, you got appointed to West Point and you're going here and we're renaming a park after your kid. I mean, it's kind of great.
Speaking of Oprah, one of my favorite headlines I'm seeing on Fox News over the past hour or two is Dems looking for an outspoken 2028 nominee. And then they go on to list a couple of those nominees. Mark Cuban, Fetterman, Michelle Obama, and the aforementioned Oprah. These are the Dems. This is the winners list that the Dems have in mind for 2028.
So, and I know that Hammer and I have talked about this one before. I don't know why they keep dragging out Michelle Obama. And as far as Oprah is concerned, but both of them put together have had an original thing to say that didn't come out of like a Washington Post article about once in their entire life. I don't really know what they would bring to the table other than Hillary Clinton 4.0 or whatever we're on right now. Fetterman just votes with the Democrats on everything, and he may say something else in public, and then he'll go vote against, keeping dudes out of women's sports and locker rooms.
Yep.
And who was the last one you mentioned, or the first one? Mark Cuban?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You got Timu, less intelligent, like owner of a sports team that simps for China. Okay, yeah, impressive.
All right, so let's shift to another interesting Trump topic with you, Tony. That little back and forth with Zelensky at the White House on Friday. Everybody was talking about that for 24 hours, depending on which side of the political aisle you were on. You either thought it was awesome or you didn't like it. But lo and behold, now Zelensky says maybe he's ready to negotiate for a peace deal.
Oh, imagine that.
Your thoughts?
I have this stupid meme that I made called The Cycle. And I originally created it as a meme, but now that Senator Mike Lee and Elon Musk have shared it, I think that we have to enter it into the National Archives. It says when Trump wants something, he gets in front of the world and he makes kind of moves to suggest there's something out there he wants. He doesn't articulate it, And then the foreign leader who has to give it up says no. So Trump makes a hyperbolic statement like, we're going to take Panama tomorrow at 3 a.m., and the world loses their mind. And the media says, well, that's not going to work this time. We're going to resist you, stinky fascist. And then after a couple of hours or days, the leader caves, and Trump ends up getting what he wants. And that has how things have consistently gone on foreign policy, mind you, so far. So when the whole Zelensky thing, he got there, he tried to out-Trump Trump. He tried to pick a fight with J.D. Vance, which
bad idea.
Is why would you pick a fight with a kid from the Midwest? You were asking for it.
The smartest guy in the room is not who you pick the policy fight with. You don't do that to the smartest guy in the room.
Really? So, I mean, of course, he walked out of there. He tried to go get money from Europe, and then Trump, realizing that there's an opportunity here to get Europe to cough up money, he made some foreign policy moves, and then floated to Zelensky, well, hey, what if everyone stops helping you tomorrow? Are you ready to come to the table then? And Zelensky, who may actually have a couple of cells from the parliament in Ukraine to rub together, says, yeah, maybe we should come to the table and negotiate. So now that seems to be, for the first time, Trump has said Zelensky is ready to come to the table to negotiate peace. That's a first.
Go back to something you said earlier, because I think this is fascinating. When you get retweeted by Elon Musk, what does your mentions look like? Like when you go into your Twitter, your X account, like what do the mentions look like?
Oh, there are so many hot single moms in my area who are definitely real people who want to meet with me.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Okay. I bet Elon probably would like to meet with them, too, for that matter. Hey, stick around for one more segment, Tonus. One more.
I see what you did there.
Sure, no problem.
Tony Kennett, the Tony Kennett cast. He's coming right back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Whether you're preparing for retirement, navigating a life transition, or simply wondering if you're on the right path, Howard Bailey Financial is here to help. Together, we'll work on a personalized plan designed to bring greater clarity to your goals and help you approach decisions with confidence. It's not just about numbers, it's about the life you want to lead and the legacy you want to leave behind. With over 20 years of experience, Howard Bailey Financial has been dedicated to guiding individuals as they work toward taking control of their financial future and finding peace of mind. Text PATH to 888-262-1104 to download a free retirement toolkit and start planning for the retirement you've dreamed of. Howard Bailey Financial, helping you turn hope into a plan and dreams into reality. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
This is a special notice to all U.S. taxpayers with back taxes to the IRS. Billions in tax relief is now being made available to struggling taxpayers, giving thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars in savings away to those who qualify. If you're facing wage garnishment, threatening letters, audits, liens, levies, or already in a payment plan, you can now expedite the resolution to your tax problem, end collections, and even qualify to reduce a large portion of what you owe. Stop IRS Debt has established a relief hotline for you to call to check what savings and options you qualify for. Dial 800-518-9137. With many people facing job loss and rising cost of living, these special IRS initiatives are designed to aid delinquent taxpayers with the relief that they need to get a fresh start. For a free consultation to see what savings you qualify for, call 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137. 800-518-9137.
Discover cancer care that empowers you at Community Health Network MD Anderson Cancer Center, with leading-edge treatment options right in your backyard.
I feel blessed and lucky. If I knew someone that was going through what I was going through, I would definitely encourage them to participate in a clinical trial. For me, it was life-changing.
Learn more at ecommunity.com/cancer.
True Green. Get a golf course quality lawn for less than you think. Sign up at truegreen.com. That's TRUgreen.com. True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
Never miss your favorite shows on WIBC. Get your content to go. Would you like fries with that? Tony Katz, Kendall and Casey, Hammer and Nigel, Tony Kennett, The Gun Guy, Home and Garden. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
Matt Baer has a look at the roads.
Northbound 465 on the northwest side, 86th Street up to 865. Northbound 65 out of the north split slow up to 21st. Inbound 65 slow 29th at 2 Meridian Penn. That's a 7-minute delay. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic. Belmont to the south split for a 7-minute delay. Southbound 69 a little bit slow. 96th Street to 465. Eastbound 465 jam before and after Keystone Avenue. And northbound Keystone Parkway, Carmel Parkway. Loaded from 136th Street up to 31. That's slow traffic. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road at North Shadeland or online at drexelin.com. I'm Ben Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
We got some light rain, 37 at the American Standard Heating Weather Center. Back with Tony Kennett. He is an investigative reporter for the Daily Signal, and he's coming up at 7 o'clock, the Tony Kennett Cast, right here at 93 WIBC. Tariffs. Everybody's a tariff expert all of a sudden on social media, Tony. What do you make of this little tit for tat that we see right now with Pretty Boy up in Canada and tariff talk?
So there's two things here, and three things that can all be true at once. Number one, tariffs are a bad long-term economic policy if they are alongside other taxes. Tariffs are a tax. They are. Right now, Americans are already paying income tax, property tax, sales tax, all of these other various taxes in and out every day. So if you're going to add another tax onto that, that ain't cool. Now, if tariffs are the bulk of the U.S. economy and there are no income taxes and no sales tax because tariffs are fronting it, well, yeah, then that's a lot better. If I have no income tax and prices are slightly higher, I can manage that. So that's the first thing. Number two, the international outrage from Canada and Mexico and other countries at the United States imposing tariffs is hilarious because those countries are already imposing tariffs on American goods. And Trump pointed this out last night in his debate. If you think that it's fair that Canada can slap tariffs on U.S. dairy because their sickly maple leaf drunk cows are supposedly better for whatever, no, that's not fair. So reciprocal tariffs are an appropriate form of policy to bring about free trade. Number three, if Trump is using tariffs as a leverage point to get what he wants, then it's very good. If Trump is using tariffs as a long-form policy without adjusting tax policy, he's playing with fire, but it looks like Secretary of Commerce Lutnick and then Secretary of the Treasury Scott Bessent have quite a handle on the situation, and Trump's a pragmatist. If you think that Trump is going to go all the way to midterms with tariffs on the table that screw over the economy, you know nothing about how Trump views his own approval ratings.
Why don't even right-leaning media outlets promote the fact that Canada taxes the bejesus out of our goods and services to the point where it's like not even fair when you look at it? Like, I don't even think Fox or Breitbart or Newsmax do a very good job of pointing out how much Canada is cleaning our clocks when it comes to this kind of stuff.
So the real answer to this is not going to be very popular. Canada's not a real country. Canada went from being a commonwealth of the UK and being a part of their empire to sort of being an independent country, kind of. They've always been very bad at governing. And so there's a lot of things that the United States worked in on the back end. I think that the true destiny of Canada, at least Alberta and perhaps Saskatchewan, should be territories of the United States. But as far as Canada is concerned, it's not very easy to talk about them because, I'll be honest with you, they don't matter. Even though they are an economic trading center with the United States, there's not really a lot of incentive for Fox News or Breitbart or all these other hosts to go and look up Canada because it's Canada. They really don't matter.
Now, be careful because Keith Olbermann's going to want to have you fired from your job, Tony Kennett.
Oh, well, he can, come at me all he wants, but he's going to have to wipe that pee off his face first.
What's coming up on the Tony Kennett Cast tonight later on after our show?
We've got Indiana Representative Aaron Houchin coming on to talk about the Laken-Riley Act and how it's already getting violent illegal immigrants out of the southern part of Indiana. Awesome. And then we're going to make fun of the Democrats. It's going to be a hoot.
Find him at The Tonus on social media. Tony Kennett Cast here on 93 WIBC. You have a great week.
You guys are the best. Thanks.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Maybe you're not as confident with your wealth management planner, not like you used to be. That's okay. I'd like to suggest getting a second opinion from the fiduciary team at Trajan Wealth. Matt Baer here. Hey, Trajan Wealth's core philosophy of low cost, loyalty, and efficiency reflects Who's Your Values. It differentiates Trajan from their competitors. Set up your first consultation and let them get to know you. Call 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com to set your first consultation. It's free. One size does not fit all when it comes to wealth management plans, and the fiduciary advisors at Trajan Wealth, they know this. Let the Trajan team work with you on a fully customized financial portfolio tailor-made to your retirement. Call the financial experts at Trajan Wealth, 317-480-4040, or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first consultation is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Hey, Bill, where you been? You're overdue for a haircut.
Man, listen, my water pipes burst and flooded my house. Place a mess. I've been staying with my daughter till I can figure out what to do.
You trying to fix it and move back in?
No way. It's too big a mess. It'll cost me tens of thousands of dollars. I ain't got that kind of money.
You trying to sell it then?
Well, that's what I'd like to do, but who's going to buy my house in this condition?
Did you call Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters?
Simple Quarters bought our house when we were in a jam. We needed to move real quick. They closed fast and gave us cash.
Simple Quarters will buy in any condition?
That's right. They buy as is. You don't have to repair anything or clean anything out. It's simple.
What do I have to do?
Just call them. They'll do a quick walkthrough, then they'll make you an offer.
Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to help people in difficult situations. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Check us out at simplequarters.com.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards? It doesn't matter if you're using your credit cards for fun or to survive. At the end of the month, your statements come in, and you can either pay them or you can't. If you can't, late fees and interest rates get tacked on. And now you're struggling just to make the minimum payment due. Do you feel trapped? Am I talking to you? Good, because I personally researched some companies that can help you. They may be able to reduce your credit card balances by 50% and stop the late fees. If you qualify, please call our special debt hotline number right now for a complimentary free 5-minute consultation. Deal with your credit card problem now before it gets much worse and put more money back in your pocket. Trust me, I've been there too. Call right now.
800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. 800-948-1659. That's 800-948-1659.
Health gives you the ability to love more, feel more, be more. Health gives you the ability to live an extraordinary life. Because every day, no matter the challenges, is a chance to breathe,